Hello, hello, hello. RJ Horner back here again, hopefully live here in Facebook group, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Technical issues, technical glitches. Hopefully these things are out of the way and we're back with you. So again, I apologize. I'm not sure where we are in the lineup. Ending the date. So let's run through one more time. I'm going to run through quickly on our lineup. I'm your host, RJ Horner. Today I have with me, I'm host and facilitator here in Live and Love Life. Today I have with me my partner, my business partner, who is talking about mastering the positive lifestyle. That is Curtis Leung, and we'll have him here shortly. We also have very shortly joining us somebody, a dear lady who's going to teach you about branding yourself. Annie Koshi will be joining us. We also have Anthony Florendo. He's going to talk about psychotherapy and affordable mental health care for all. Then I'm going to bring on my guidance, my spiritual guide, Annie Koshi. Wilma. We already had Annie Koshi. We're going to have Wilma David, who is an angelic healer. She's going to talk about spirituality. And connection to archangels and things that you may not understand. But trust me, I believe, and I needed to share this with you. You're going to enjoy the experience from Wilma David. Then we have Matthew Gardner, who's going to talk about igniting your intuition and unlocking your creativity. And then finally, to end the morning, we have my business advisor, my dear treasured mentor and coach who's taught me a lot and helped me to get here, Amit Ambigankar. So please, that's our morning lineup. That'll run from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. with this link. We're going to do our best to get it out to everybody as quickly as we can. And we'll hopefully be up and running with everybody. Again, technical glitches, right? So then we want you to join our afternoon lineup, which will start at 2 p.m. That'll start off with Jim Hetherington, who's a relationship mentor, and he'll be able to talk about not only relationships directly, but relationships with other people, not just love and your partner, but how to deal with other people in general. Then we'll have Sivam Valatem, who he shared his vision with me, and I was happy to take up his vision. So finally, or not finally, then we'll move on to a man I met throughout this thing called he brought a program called Dream Builder that I just felt I had to bring to you all. Again, we're looking to help people build a better life. This is built around my book, 10 Steps to Achieve Any Outcome You Desire. And his program is a step above and beyond that. Again, he's a certified coach with Mary Morrissey and the Life Mastery Program. And then we get to end our day with somebody near and dear to my heart. She is directly responsible for making me the man I am as far as business and development and sharing my knowledge and wisdom with you. She's empowering women. That's her forte. She is the host of Toronto Women's Club, but she also takes on men and helps men and empowers men. And that's how I met her and became involved with Toronto Women's Club. I'm a member and associate myself. And how could I not want to present to you Cora Cristobal, the CEO and founder of Toronto Women's Club? That will be our day. I'm hoping we're going to get everybody on here. We need to get these links out as soon as possible. I need to be in touch with my partner. I'm going to have to send him the link right now so that he can get on, and then we can start to coordinate. So please bear with us while we deal with some technical issues. Unfortunately, our broadcast cut out on us, which means we've lost that broadcast and had to create a new one. We are moving on with that. Hopefully, we'll get everybody coordinated shortly, but we are going to be moving on with our program because we have created an exciting program for you. It's built around my life, my growth, the things I've learned and done in my journey. And again, I am RJ Horner, host and facilitator of a community called Live and Love Life. Now, in this Better Life Symposium, which is a seminar by any other name, I love the word symposium because symposium means gathering place. And we've gathered a good selection of authorities here to help you build a life you love to live. These aren't just cheesy words, live and love life. They were chosen with some delicate and heartfelt consideration. They're simple words: live, love, life. These are words that we should be able to adapt. We should be able to understand, and we should be able to implement in our lives. But the fact is, life is fast. Life is busy. Life can be difficult. Life can be a struggle. These are absolute facts. Life can be great. Life could be grand. And on occasion, it is for most people. But there is much hardship in the world, and that's another unfortunate fact. I have a quote I use of my own. And again, we're trying to help people get better. We're trying to help people live a good life. And in order to get to that good ship, I have a quote I use that's gotten me where I am. And I call it, to get to the good ship, you've got to ride on the hardship. That means you've got to get past it. You've got to learn how to get beyond it. And I think we've got some people who are going to help you do that this week or this next year. In fact, 2020, let's consider it a write-off. Let's consider it a lost opportunity. Too much has gone wrong. Too much has hurt us this year. We've had several things between the elections and between violence and between the pandemic that we're dealing with. This year has been a struggle. This year has been near terrible. So I want to help you make next year a better life. And we have to start somewhere. We have to start putting things into practice. We have to learn how to build a better life. So these three words that, like I said, we can take for granted. So we're passing the message now, by the way, I'm noticing. So hopefully we'll start to get people on. And again, as I'm passing this message to build a life you love to live, three simple words, but we've lost the meanings of them and we've lost the ability to apply them to our lives. So I created what I believe is a way to do that through our vision and our mission here in Live and Love Life. And that is to help people by working together for a better tomorrow. Look, I built this by Curtis Paul.
Hey guys.
Start to get coordinated again. I've been filling in, Curtis, talking about our mission and vision, talking about our lineup, talking about Live and Love Life and what it means to us. And also the fact that I was able to sell you on the vision. And I think once I sold you on the vision, I started to believe in the vision a little more myself, right? The vision of working together for a better tomorrow. And as soon as you and I started working together, this community started to become something. We started to get more members. We started to get more traction. We started to be able to accomplish more tasks because we were doing it together, right? Did you feel that?
I did. I found that we were able to push each other a little bit further. That was great.
Yeah. So I'm so glad that I was able to sell you on the vision because again, then it becomes something at that point. Like it was my idea, it was my concept, and it was a great idea, as the board says behind me. But it really wasn't anything until I had others believing in it and working to accomplish it as well.
Yeah.
that's kind of the premise behind our vision here in working together for a better tomorrow. So you, I encourage you to bring your own platform, your own book to our program, and to help us spread that word as well, because it is a way to help people build a life they love to live, which is our mission here in Live and Love Life, is to help you build a life you love to live. So tell us a little bit about, Curtis, your book, the positive. Sorry, I don't want to get it
Yes.
wrong. How about you?
Okay. It's
Title of your
sure. It's ABCs to a Positive Life: A Simple Guide to a Winning Mindset. It's a book about my journey of as self development and how I became more positive, and then just the different things I've done over the last about 5, 6 years now to improve my mental state of mind and be more positive and stuff. Basically, it started about 6 years ago. We had London. She was premature by about 25 weeks. So during that period of time, we're in the hospital for 3 months. And it was kind of difficult. You know, I was working 12-hour days and I had to go to the hospital every night. So I would always fall asleep on the chair with her. So it was awesome because we had the thing called kangaroo care. That is where you just have the baby naked on your bare chest, and it gives a better connection between the parents. It was fantastic. It was my favorite thing of the day. I went there all the time. And then during that period of time, we got to know all the nurses and the other kids there. It was great. I decided that it was time to change my life, because when you have kids, you look at things differently because you become more responsible. I'm sure many of you out there who are parents understand that situation. Also, Rita had a lot of issues during the pregnancy that didn't seem that bad at the time, but what happened was it became worse as we went along. She had the day was Father Day 2014. She had a super bad headache. We weren't too sure what was wrong, but we let it go. And then about 2 o'clock in the morning, we decided we better go to the hospital. Something's wrong. So we went to one hospital, but it was Hamilton General. It was just a basic hospital that didn't have any skills to take care of premature babies there. So they referenced, so we they called McMaster, which is a baby hospital here in Hamilton. It's great. And then from there we went there. It was pretty crazy because in the beginning you think you got to hurry up to get there, but you don't because they took their time. Well, I thought. But I was like racing over the hospital, breaking speed limits and stuff like that, still obeying the rules of the road somewhat. But I found that when I got there, I was waiting for her, but I was kind of impatient because like, what's going to happen? Because at Hamilton General, we found out that Rita had like a super high blood pressure and that she could have had a stroke. But luckily, they were able to call it settle her down and that, so it was good. Looks like some more people are coming on. Awesome, guys. Thanks for joining us today. That's pretty much about it. Then I went through coaching with Achieve Today, and that made a huge difference for me. And then during COVID in April, I had what I thought was time off from work, leave of absence, which actually kind of fired me, which we weren't supposed to do, but please figure that out. During April, I figured what else can I do in my life? And I just started reading all the books that I started over the year. I was like, oh, I need to finish all these things. So I started finishing that. And then I started reading the 5 a.m. Club book, and that really changed my morning routine for me. I follow that every day now for the last couple of years. Wonderful phone ring. Anyway, from there, we are here now. I met RJ probably about a few years ago at a PIC event, and I thought he was a cool guy at the time, and I figured something would happen one day with him because he just seems to be outgoing and try to get things done and very motivated. Also, I guess working tons of hours is always hard. Hey, RJ, you there? What else to talk about?
Yep. Yep. No, thank you for that. Listen, people need to know about you again because you've agreed to work with me, right? You've agreed
Yep.
to join, adapt the vision, help pursue this vision and the mission, and help people build the life you love to live. Again, you know what? My attitude, that's step one in my book, 10 Steps to Achieve Any Outcome You Desire. And
Okay.
my attitude was the very first thing that had to change, right? In order for me to grow and become any kind of person whatsoever. Because right at that point, I was down in the dumps. I was lost. I didn't know where to go, right? I was near a nervous breakdown. In fact, I'm pretty sure I had a nervous breakdown because I was about to lose my wife, my house, my job,
Oh,
everything. And I came to realize my boss said to me at the time, if there's a consistent problem, you may want to look at where the problem is. And so I was always having issues. I was always getting in trouble. I was always having people talk back to me. I was always yelling at people. And then I noticed that I was.
hmm.
And the only person who can change who I was is I here, me, right? And I had to change me. I had to learn who I was going to become. And in order to do that, I had to adjust my attitude. I had to be more positive, be more happy. I had to find joy and happiness again in my life so that I could have a positive attitude, which is very much what you promote, is it not?
Yes, for sure.
So I couldn't help but take you on board. I'm glad you saw that there was something in me because it has been a journey too. Like you said, you met me about 3 years ago. I really
Yeah.
didn't know where I was going or what I was doing at that time, except that I was on a journey to live a better life. And I was just starting at that point to want to give back and to understand the the need for the helping of other people and to make better
Yeah.
lives, not just for myself but everyone around me. And by doing that, we kind of have a spiral effect or a butterfly effect moving forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you all. You can take it. We'll keep you back in the background. Keep us running, Curtis. Keep us coordinated. Let's
Yeah,
not lose any more broadcasts, and we'll have a great show today. I think we have a great lineup today.
we do.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited to share that with people.
Yeah, I'm on a different device now. I'm on my phone, so there's something wrong with the computer, I guess. So I switched over to my
We'll
phone now. So
hopefully we can
it's
get it all coordinated and put on a great show for people today.
so I guess Annie's gonna come up next.
Yep, she is ready. Thank you for that
Okay.
because I'll I want to tell you a little bit about this next guest before we bring her on to you, because some people just sneak up into your lives, and I'm glad they do, because this lady, they call her the ninja. Now, I know why. I've seen her work. She's absolutely amazing. She's powerful. Some people have a hard time keeping up with her, and she really is a master at her craft. She is a master coordinator. And you want your brand to work, you look, I look like a professional today. Okay, there were some glitches, but everything you're just going to see on the screen is going to look professional. And that's a lot because of this lady right here. She is a branding expert, and she really helps people go to that next level. She really brings out everything, and you want to keep accountable to her too. I know I did. So she helped elevate my game. She helped bring this about. It's reason she's one of our sponsors here with GTA South Asia Media. I hope I've said that right. And I want you to meet my next guest, Curtis. If you can introduce her, Annie Koshi. Please tell us about Annie, Curtis.
Well, Annie is she wrote a book, I guess. Here, hold on. The description I have is a little bit different. Annie's journey is something 1,000 women face on a daily basis. Fear. Face everything and rise. The biopic pick on her life is a film to inspire minds to believe in themselves. It has been chosen as a finalist in the Canadian Cinematography Awards and has been
Cinematography is
placed.
that word?
That's the word. Sorry, a little stumble there. Uh, and has been placed as the best documentary in the Paris Play Film. And her book is Be Your Badass Self, which is a pretty cool name of a book. And then let's get to Annie.
Good morning, Annie. Welcome.
Hello, welcome, RJ, and thank you, Curtis. You got almost all of that right, but that's all right. You guys are doing an awesome job, and you know what? Technical things are something that happens all the time, and we're used to that. Especially when we're moving and migrating to a virtual stage, it is what happens. So, thank you so much, Curtis, for the introduction. RJ, it's a pleasure to work with you and your team. and with Curtis on putting this in the first event together, which is going to turn out to be an annual event. So it's lovely. We've got a great lineup of people that are slated to come out for the full day, 13 speakers. And these are speakers that are recognized for their work and for the impact that they are making in their fields. Like you said, RJ, my background is in branding. I'm going to do the presentation. I would encourage everyone, anyone who's listening, anyone who's tuning in or comes in, drop messages into the chat, speak with RJ and Curtis. If you have any questions for me while I'm doing the presentation, type it in there and they are going to be able to ask me those questions at the end. So I'm happy to be able to answer that. But before I say anything else, I'm going to present to you my information. And it's about being your magnetic personality and really what does that mean. So I'm going to just see if this works for us today. And RJ, are you able to see my screen?
I'm still seeing just you at this point. I don't have your screen.
Okay, let's try that again. Show, stop sharing. And let me just see if we can make sure that we're sharing the screen properly again. And it should be this.
I've got your screen here. Let me see if I can share that for you. There we are.
Okay, perfect. So growing your magnetic personality and how to really attract that to your success. I am known as the Ninja or the Branding Ninja. My name is Annie Koshi. I am the founder and CEO of the GTA South Asian Media Network. I'm a mainstream host here with Saga 960, and I also wear several other hats, including internationally awarded model and actress, as well as an awarded author. I'm going to jump right in. And so, yeah, this pretty much says it, what I just said before. Actress, model, author, entrepreneur, media personality, bottle that all up, and I'm just a human. And it's just about me and the things that I have been able to accumulate through my skills, my passion, and I put that all together and I've created a brand. And so the main thing is that there is a consistency. So your personal magnetism really is a sword of your brand. And what that means is your personal magnetism is how interesting are you and how are you able to use that interesting component of yourself to be able to influence other people. Your charisma, your personal appeal, your attractiveness, and yes, sexual allure is part of it. Interesting is about a multiple factors that all come together. It is the ability that you have or the power that you have to be able to catch someone's attention, retain that attention, and then use that attention to either build or grow your service or them as an individual. So creating that magnetic personality is strategic to your brand. And it's very, very important to understand really and delve into the components that create that magnetic personality. So I'm going to do that. Be an inspiration. Really, personal magnetism begins with a wholeness within you. If you are broken inside, if you're not passionate about what it is that you do, or you wake up and you're in a foul mood, well, that does come across in your personality, in your voice. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit later. But finding that moment of peace, finding that inner balance in you means that you wake up in the morning and you are grateful for the smallest things that you have around you. Even the very fact that you are awake in the morning and that you have a bed that you slept in and you have a roof over your head or food on your table, those are small things. And gratitude really leads and fuels your day because it starts that day off in a very powerful manner. And so personal magnetism really begins with the wholeness of your spirit. And you have to pour into you, I always say, so that you're able to pour into other people. So versatility. Defining your purpose means that you adapt your definiteness of purpose, means that you adapt your situation, the condition that you find yourself in to suit your goal. It's very important that we were all able to, in this current situation that we find ourselves in, adapt to that. And the people who have been able to adapt and change really quickly have been the ones that have been able to survive. A lot of businesses and a lot of individuals who found themselves in a world in which they didn't really recognize anymore, found themselves floundering. And so the people who've been versatile, who've been able to pivot with the change, and who are able to take those boulders that fall into our path when we're least expecting them, to not be boulders that stop our path, but rather boulders that we are enabling us to climb higher, find a detour, or build a tunnel underneath. So there are different ways that you can get through, but being versatile is a key component. Dress for success. You know what? Presentation begins with you. And, you know, we're all on virtual calls right now. So one of the primary things to remember is that you have to pretend that that virtual meeting is as though you're having a meeting in your boardroom. So would you show up to your boardroom meeting half-baked? No, right? So if you don't do that there, then don't do that even at home. How you put yourself together and how you present yourself is going to actually convey that in your tone and how you actually are received by someone else. So if you want to be seen as being professional, project yourself as professional. If you come in a certain position at a company, but you have sights on getting into a managerial role, well, then dress for that success. And that does make a difference. When you know it yourself, if you were to do a meeting and you haven't, you know, put yourself together properly, you haven't brushed your hair, brushed your teeth, haven't really poured into yourself, haven't had breakfast, and you've just, you know, thrown on clothes, they're not really, you're thinking, who really is going to take a look at me, you know, right now? It's a Zoom call, I don't need to iron. And you show up with wrinkled, sort of looking like you're just not really spent a lot of time on yourself. Do you really think that you're going to, it's going to actually go well with your presentation or go well with what you're presenting? No, it isn't, because you're going to put that half-baked effort into the presentation itself. I always said to my students when I was teaching that I always knew how, and if they had done their homework, I would ask them to take out the pencil case. And at the beginning of the year, I would have asked them to say, I need you to make sure that in your pencil case, you have X number of things. So pencil, a blue pen, a black pen, whatever it is, a highlighter, a raise X, whatever, all the items that you would require to be a successful student in your pencil case. And in the first month itself, at some random spot, I would ask them to take out their pencil case, and I would see how many of them actually had all the items that I had asked them to make sure that they carry with them all the time. And the ones that had the items in, I could tell right away. And I said to them, your homework is done. The ones that didn't, their homework wasn't done. Their diary wasn't up to date. They didn't have all of the pieces of a project that needed to be submitted. And this is the reason why. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So dressing for success is a first step to actually achieving success. Meditate. This is so much a part of my life that I consider my spirituality, my ability to tap into that infinite source of wisdom and power, and my ability to focus on what I need to do right now is my ability to be able to meditate. Yes, I love this picture because that bishop on the side, yes, he's meditating. So it's a metaphor really it's a play on all of the imagery on this picture, is to say that, yes, you need to have some form of faith that's driving you, some form of grounding, and some respect for that infinite source of wisdom that's guiding you in your life. And so meditation really is that inner balance that you need to drive your success. Vocal prowess. This is such an important component. I'm a model and an actress, as I mentioned to you. And one of the things that I do is I use my voice. My voice is used for voiceovers. I've had countless commercials in which my voice has been utilized. And as a radio host with one of the mainstream radio stations, definitely the voice is the only thing that is compelling, that enables people to tune in and listen. And I've always been told from a very young age that my voice is very powerful. But it's more than just the power of the voice. Speaking loudly doesn't mean that you are powerful. It's the tone that you use, and how do you convey something. It's the volume that you convey it with. It's the pitch that you use. So if you're, saying it in a very high manner in which it's grating on someone's ears, it may not come across. Even if your message is correct, even if your message has value and worth, it may not be received very well. The intonation. So all of these components are part of vocal prowess. The other thing that I ensure that I do not use in my presentations or in my meetings is slang and profanity. It's very important that you be respectful of the people who are paying attention to what it is that you're sharing, but also you're respectful to yourself. You can say whatever you have to say without slang and without profanity. There is a space for that. I don't speak in such a proper way when I'm hanging out with my friends, just the same way that you wouldn't go into a board meeting with a bottle of wine. But does that mean that you don't drink wine? Not necessarily. That is fine. But there is a place and a time for certain types of behavior and certain manners of behavior. And so when you are trying to present yourself in your brand as a company and trying to convey something of importance, there is really no space there for profanity. Thought clarity is very important. It's very important that when you have something to say it smoothly, say it with focus, and say it shortly. So that's very important. Enunciation and pronunciation. Enunciation is how you say each word so that each word is heard clearly and understood clearly. Pronunciation is really the how you pronounce each word. And so there is an importance in all of this aspect. And the only way to really improve vocal prowess is for you to stand in front of the mirror and videotape yourself. And so set up your camera, put it in front of the mirror, and talk. And when you talk, you'll see the different things that you do. Maybe you do something quirky with your eyebrows, or you have a twitch on your face that you do when you're nervous, or you play with your hair, or you use your arms too much or your hands too much. I always say, if you are going to be speaking on stage, think of yourself as having a little box, probably from your shoulders down to about your navel. That's that invisible box. Your hands should stay within that invisible box. If your hands are all over the place and they're flaying all over the place, people are not going to be paying attention to what it is that you're saying. They're going to be watching your hands, and they're going to be more amused by it. I have people on this with me. And so genuineness and authenticity. Really, when you speak to someone, they're going to be able to hear through your voice whether you are a genuine person and whether you're authentic to what it is that you're saying. Do you have that winning attitude? And are you really being authentic to your brand? Is going to come across in how you convey that message to others. A smile. Yes. You know what? When you say hello to someone and you say it in a straight face, it does come across as being a blah hello, right? So if I was to say that to RJ and I was on the phone call with him and I just said, hello, RJ, it would be different than, hello, RJ. And that forms a very different impression. So one of the things I found is, and I follow this all the time, is I fail forward. And I fail forward in the sense that I don't wait for perfection to happen. Sometimes something doesn't work the way that I wanted it to happen. For me, that doesn't matter. I laugh at myself, I pick myself up, and I fail forward. It means I move forward and I learn from those experiences. We all have those moments in life where something has held us back. We haven't been at our best. But you know what? When you are able to laugh at yourself, you're able to laugh at things, and you're able to find that humor in situations, you're going to find yourself picking yourself, and you're putting out that positive vibe, which is going to actually be that winning attitude that you need and building your magnetic personality. Wear confidence as the armor. Even if you don't know how to do something, take it on and then find someone to help you or learn it yourself. Everything that I did right now and that I've become a brand ambassador right now, I didn't know that. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I was not in this field, but I learned every single moment I pour into myself. I'm a constant learner. And that means that because I learn, I'm able to teach well. So if you are planning on being a coach or a mentor, the first thing you have to do is pour into yourself by learning from others. If you want to be a coach or a mentor, you need to be coached and mentored yourself. That means you need to find mentors and coaches in your life that are going to be able to pour into you. That means that you may have one coach for your finances. You may have another coach for your mindset. You may have another coach for your business. Whatever it is that you need, it doesn't need to be in one person, and it doesn't need to be every single day. You tune into those individuals, but you pour into yourself. The other thing is know your material really well. When you are presenting, when you're putting slides together, you're having it up there and people are going to be tuning into you. It's very important that you know your material really well and that you're not having all the material on the slide so that people are reading the slide rather than paying attention to you. So when you speak with power, you speak with confidence, you speak with conviction, you're going to be wearing your confidence as your armor. It takes courage to put out your authenticity. It takes courage. And really, it's important that you see yourself as that Herculean person in the back shadow there. You might be small. I say I'm 5'3" with a 9-foot personality, and that's exactly it. I'm very tiny as a person, but if you see me, you will never see that it's my height that you see, it's my personality that you see. And so start with your personality, project yourself with that magnetism and with that courage. We all have a journey, we all have stories. And so use your stories not as things that have held you back, but use your stories as a stepping stone to your success story, and use that story as your personal brand so that you're able to share your brand in what it is that you're sharing out there. So this is how to be your badass self. I always say be your badass self. This is where you can get a hold of me. You can reach out to RJ or to Curtis, who will be able to get a hold of me. And if you would like to book some time with me, I have a Calendly link that I can share with you. But otherwise, I'm all over social media. Put my name, Annie Koshy, into Google and tons of things will show up for you. Find my book on Amazon, How to Be Your Badass Self. Using a guide to using your inner energy for brand success is available for you. Both my films are in the festival circuit right now. The first film is A Bloody Mess. It's won about 30 awards or nominations. My second film is a biopic on my life called Fear, Face Everything and Rise. It has just been released for about a month and has already garnered 12 awards, and we're waiting for more. So there you have it. It's been such a pleasure to be here and to be able to speak to all of you. I'm honored that I had this opportunity, that RJ spoke to me many, many months ago when this was just a figment in an idea in his mind. He was voicing his desire and his dream. But you know what? When Curtis and RJ put this together, they took those dreams, put actions to that, a drop date for that, a goal in mind, and those actions have led to today. So congratulations to both of you for this amazing event.
And that's Annie Koshy. And you see why she's a ninja. She's a master at what she does. Thank you for all your support. And thank you for everything you have done to help us get here, because you have helped put a lot of work into this as well. And of course, that's why you're our major sponsor, because these things don't happen alone. You're right. They come with a lot of work. But I didn't get many questions online. But what I'd like to do is kind of run through your list here real quick, because and now you started with a one, not even a number one, saying attractiveness. And you used the word use. I love that word because I'm using you here today. I'm using many of the speakers to help put this presentation together. And that's what it's about. But is that okay? Are we allowed to use people?
You know what? Absolutely, RJ. One of the things that we have to respectfully do is once you start to joint venture, JV with people, you have the ability to leverage and access. If you know, let me ask you something, RJ. Are you able to be successful on your own?
I'd love to believe I could do it all by myself, but absolutely not.
No, absolutely. You can be successful on your own. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a second question. And that is it easier to do it with a team?
Without a doubt. Without
a doubt. So why would we not go through the scores of people that we touch upon in our lives and see how did they impact me? How do I impact them?
Right.
Why are you connected to folks in your social media? And this is one of the things that I do is when someone reaches out to me and makes a friend to me, or requests me to be a friend of theirs, I try to take some time and say, hi, let's hop on a call, or tell me a little bit about you. If their guard goes up immediately and they're like, what do you want to know? Why do you want to know? What, that sort of thing. My question then is, why did you connect?
Right.
Because you don't want to be just a badge of honor on someone's friend list because, oh, it's like a trophy. I have so-and-so as my friend. I have so-and-so in my network. What's the purpose? Reach out to the individuals, know your people in your world, and connect with them. When you do, you're going to start seeing how many people you have in your network that are actually, you're going to find able to resonate with. And if you don't resonate with them, they shouldn't be there.
Wonderful. Yeah. So, and then I'm just going to very quickly touch on the fact that your first three are really, you're talking about being inspiration, versatility in your ventures, and then dress for success. Those three are really about setting yourself up and becoming the person you want to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, RJ, it's so important that I always say the first person that you need to take care of is you. Pour into you. If you're not okay, if you're not balanced, you're not your optimal self, how can you pour into others? How can you help others be an optimal person if you're not vibrating at your best? So it's so important that you turn on all the buttons inside you, you activate all of your systems, and you are the best person that you can be. And it doesn't mean that every single day it's going to be like that. There are going to be days that you're not going to be at your best, but it's also okay to be not okay.
Yes, absolutely. And just touching on that, next, one important concept that I wanted to talk about was vocal prowess, because I know that firsthand. Again, it's about representing yourself, and we can represent ourselves in this way in both a good and a bad way. Case in point, we have the vice or the president of the United States right now, who he has vocal prowess, but does he use it to the best of his ability? Does he use it in a good way? Right. So we need to make sure that good way or that positive way comes off first, I think.
Yeah, I always say that is what you're saying growing someone's mind? Is what you're saying, if that person is not there helping or growing them, if they were there, would they be happy with what it is that you're saying about them? If not, then you shouldn't say it. That's one thing. The other thing is we have the opportunity, just because you say something in a forceful way doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right thing. So being careful about how you say something, being respectful and kind to others is far more impactful than if you were saying the most brilliant things and said it in a crude way.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And I'm so pleased that we set you up as our first speaker, because you were the perfect person. You set people up so that they can understand how to become that person wherever you are right now, whatever stage of life, whether, you may think everything's peaches and roses and we're coasting along, we're doing okay. Or, you know what, right now, considering everything we're going through, chances are you could be struggling right now. But by implementing these 9 steps that Annie has put forward, you can certainly set yourself up as a personality to be reckoned with, and certainly a quality character. And you are that quality character. I'm pleased to have met you, proud to present you today. Thank you for joining us, Annie, and thank you for all your support.
Thank you. All the best. Everyone, go rock the world. Be your badass self. Annie signing out. Bye.
Thanks. And then, now, very quickly, we are moving on, folks. I'm going to introduce my next guest. Again, another powerful lady who came to my life through my center of my circle of influence. I'm out there to try and build a better life. I attend seminars. I get out there and network and meet people. And this lady's smiling face captured me and showed me possibilities. And she certainly was willing to work and discuss those possibilities with me. She told me her story and the fact that she was able to put her kids through medical school as a single mom. Medical school, university, that's not cheap. And yet she was able to put this life together on her own. Um, we have lost Curtis, who was supposed to do our introduction. So I'll do the brief introduction for our next guest, who is known as the single mom millionaire. She's divorced and left with 3 young boys with no financial support from the father. She had nothing but determination to raise her children and put them through school debt free. Sadna managed to buy and sell over 30 properties using none of her own money while working full time as a law clerk. She successfully put her boys through medical and business school and now wants to teach others that they can do it too with no money down.
I can't hear you. RJ?
Okay, now can you hear me? Sadna, can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can't. You're on mute. Okay, technical difficulties. We are trying to get Sadna on board here. I'll keep talking, but again,
Now,
okay, I hear you.
yes?
Yes, I think.
But I can't hear you now.
Your microphone, her microphone says mute, but I can't change that. There.
Not from our end, no. Yep.
I think we got everybody on.
I cannot hear you guys. Is that okay?
I can hear
Yep.
you.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I can't hear myself, so
Okay,
you
so
should
once
have
again,
an earpiece.
Curtis, can you coordinate with her, tell her to talk? But I'm going to introduce you to Sadna Sabharwal. She has the No Money Down
I
Academy.
cannot hear you.
So please let her
I'm
know
going to put
she
my
can talk.
earpiece on.
Okay. Move on.
But again, folks, these are technical difficulties. We do apologize for all the inconveniences.
So you can
This
hear
is
me,
our
RJ,
first
okay?
event. Yeah, we got you. I can
Yeah,
hear her
no
okay,
Sadna.
but she just can't
Okay.
hear us.
She's going to put her earphones in. We'll get her going here. Hold on.
Yeah, maybe that'll help.
Oh
But
my
she's going to
God.
present No Money Down. And there's a reason for that, because investing in yourself, people think investing is not an option for them.
Can you hear me
So-
now?
Yep.
Oh,
Yes,
we can hear you.
we're
Can
good.
you hear
I
us?
can't hear you guys.
Well, just do your
Keep
presentation
going?
then. Just
Okay.
roll. Yeah.
All right. Let's go. So, I'm going to share the slides, guys. Tell me what you see. Google Slides. Share. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Sadna Sabharwal. Are you good? Can you see my slides? Just a thumbs up? Okay, good. Okay. Sorry, this is my first time on StreamYard, but as life goes on, I'm sure I will learn this as well. So thank you again for having me, guys. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. I'm so glad to see people out here because we're all here to learn, and that's the main thing. If you're out here, that means you care about yourself. That means you care about your financial journey. You care about your life. You care about who you are as a person and who you're becoming. So thank you and welcome for coming. I am excited to be here. I've known RJ for, I would say, at least a couple of years. He's always such a giving person, and I cannot tell you how helpful he is. So definitely, I'm glad to be here. So as he introduced me, he said, I am a single mom who has bought and sold many properties with no money down. So my goal today is for me to teach you at least one way how to do that. So who am I? Here's the short version. I'm a single mom of 3 boys. I'm a full-time law clerk, but I've also been real estate investing for the last over 10 years. And I have managed to buy and sell over 35 properties all on my own. So what I'm trying to say here is that, yes, you can do this. Yes, you can do it part-time. Yes, I still have a full-time job, but I do love it. So real estate has been my side hustle. So it's not something that I do it as a full-time, but the side hustle had made me more money than my job. Job, as everybody knows, is just over broke. My real estate has made me financially free. And yes, I have made over $1 million from real estate. So definitely worth checking out. In the past decade, what have I done? I've been able to achieve some amazing feats. I have become a best-selling author. I have become a real estate investor, which has, as I said, given me a lot of financial freedom. I've become a coach and mentor to many people. I've become a speaker. I've also become an international author and an international speaker. Yes, I seem to be fumbling, but as I said, I'm on a new path, and I always feel when you are growing, when you are not, when you are going outside of your comfort zone, yes, it's hard. Yes, you're going to screw up, just like I will too. But growth lies just outside of your comfort zone. I have been a guest on many radio and TV podcasts as well. The only thing I'm going to say is maybe the technical stuff is not my best case scenario, but I will get there. And recently I have created an online course called the No Money Down Academy. The day my life changed, this was back in September of 1997. I was at my cousin's wedding, and this is the picture going to the wedding. And my ex-husband goes to me, come out for a smoke with me. And we did. I don't smoke, but I went out with him. I never thought going out for a smoke with him would change my life. So at my cousin's wedding, he tells me about this other woman. And I was like, oh my God. Has anyone ever gone through that where you just don't know where something is going to hit you from? That's what happened to me. I'm at a wedding, happy and everything. And the next thing I know, I'm being bomb blasted with this life-changing event. It took me 6 months to realize that enough is enough. I couldn't do this anymore. When I would wake up in the morning, I couldn't face myself, and I had to make a decision. I just felt that my self-worth was worth more than me staying in a marriage. So sometimes when things are falling apart, that's when they're actually falling in place. I couldn't speak to my dad because he was going through cancer himself. And I remember I used to go to my mom's house every weekend because I just didn't want to deal with anything. I didn't want to be home with that. I was honestly at the lowest point in my life. Now, sometimes you have to make that hard decision, and I did. So I asked him, I said, well, it can't go on like this. So what are you going to do? You need to make a decision. So he said to me, I can't leave her. And I said, then you leave me. And he did. And that's where my journey began. So I had to make a change. Obviously, I made that decision, but now what? When the kids were small, their needs were smaller, like, $2, $5, I always say. But as they got bigger, the needs became bigger. They were not that they were not happy with it, but they did not need the $5 or $10. They needed $50 or $100. And that's where I needed to figure out how to bring more income into the household. So here I am, divorced and alone. Kids are ready to go to university. And I had to get myself out of this somehow because I needed to bring in more money. There was no way I was going to be able to support 3 kids on a law clerk salary. So what was I left with when he left? Obviously, I didn't feel grateful at the time. Today, I do. Today, I feel grateful that he left me with the kids. He left me with a mortgage. He left me with a roof over my head. Yes, the roof came with a mortgage. It came with some family debt that he had borrowed. It also came with some credit card debt that he had. And he literally just, I feel, walked away with no responsibility at all. And I, at times, felt stuck. But, you go on. A couple of months later, he called me and he goes, she's pregnant. And I was like, why are you telling me this, number one? But that was the time when I realized there was no chance of a reconciliation now. Now you've just made yourself another family. So again, I was at a point where I just did not want to live. So I figured, I remember on a Friday, a coworker asked me, oh, what are you doing this weekend? I said, I'm just going to kill myself and my kids. And the only way I knew how was basically carbon monoxide poisoning. And I thought of running a pipe from the car, turning it on, putting it in the house, and we could all just sleep to sleep, basically. Since I am here, well, I didn't kill myself and I didn't kill my children. And gradually I paid off all the debt that he owed my parents and everything. And I think I got my life back together from there. I was determined. I just wanted to let it all go. And I think I was ready to let it go because I just needed to feel a change. I needed to feel that I could let go of him without me realizing anything else or being stuck there. I remember somebody told me that don't make your life miserable trying to make his life miserable. And I followed that to a T. I never worried about what he was doing or how beautiful his life was. I was concerned about making my life and my kids' life better for us. I still stayed in the same house because I did not want my kids to feel that dad left and now we lost our house. So I'm still in the same house, but it's just everything was there. So until you are ready to let go, until you release what you're holding on to, you cannot receive. And that's one of the things I learned. And I think, everything happens for a reason. For me, would I change the person I am today for the person I was 20 years ago? Absolutely not. So therefore, I needed to get that, just be able to receive with open hands. And that's when you're ready to learn. And then I was introduced to real estate investing. And I always say personal development came as a bonus. It wasn't meant to be, but it came as a bonus. Now, for anything you do in life, just understand mindset is more important than the skill set. I always believe 90% of what we do is the mindset, and maybe 10% is the skill set. Because how you do one thing is how you're going to do everything. So if I believe I can do something, my mind will find ways to do it. But on the other side, if I feel, oh, why can't I do this? My brain is going to give me answers as to why I cannot do it. So just remember, ask the right questions. So mindset is the most important thing. So again, if you believe you can do it, yes, you can. So when I was introduced to real estate, one of my clients at the office actually became my first coach. So she's the one who started teaching me about real estate, and that's where I learned. So it's very important for you to have a coach, because also the coach is who will guide you not to be in the not to do anything wrong, but also to save you time, also to save you money, also to save you mistakes. A coach will do that. So my ex leaving me actually put me on a soul journey. So I say soul journey meaning from SOUL journey. And I'm actually grateful for every experience that he gave me. So my soul journey is now to make a change in people's lives, to empower them, give them hope towards financial freedom. So in the last 10 years, I have put 3 kids through university. I've bought and sold many properties. I'm actually starting my first development project. I've been part of these 2 books, and I am financially free from real estate. I'm going to skip a slide here. So that's where the Single Mom Millionaire was born. That is my mentor, Sunil Tulsiani, who believed in me, who's always had my back. And I was like, you know what? I'm glad to have you by my side, because that's where my journey again began as a speaker and all. Now, what do I bring to the table? Because people want to learn from someone who has done it, I've done it. I'm an expert at No Money Down. I have bought and sold many properties. I am an authority on creative financing, and I mentor people who have gone on to become wholesalers and in the process have bought many properties starting from one. These are some of the properties that I have bought and sold. They're not pretty looking buildings, but I buy them for cash flow. I don't buy them for what they can or cannot look like. My highest number of properties that I owned was 18 properties, which was 46 tenants. I still own 7 properties. Now, after doing this for a decade, I'm here to tell you it is possible to buy real estate with no money. You can do it part-time. I have made a second source of income from this. And it is, you are able to achieve financial freedom. So I can say I'm a No Money Down specialist. And hence the No Money Down Academy was born. So you can just imagine how even buying one property can supplement your income. And that's what I've done. I just bought another property with no money, without spending any money from my pocket. Now, results are not typical, but they are possible. Obviously, the more effort you put in there, the more you will get out of it. The more you educate yourself, I also find, is where people will believe in you. People believe someone who's been doing that. So the results will be directly proportionate to the efforts you put in, but they will come. I'm going to say buying property no money down is using other people's money. So other people is anybody that is basically your banks, your line of credits, your neighbors, your friends, anybody who has money. So how can you buy property with no money? I'm going to teach you how to use other people's money. But before we go there, one of the things I talk about is financial freedom number. What is your financial freedom number? If your monthly expenses plus $1, that is your financial freedom number. So if your expenses are $3,000 and you bring in $3,001, you're financially free from passive income, though, not active income. Other people, as I said, so what I'm going to show you here is 4 scenarios that using other people's money is more beneficial than using your own money. Scenario 1. Let's say we buy a house for $100,000 and you pay all cash. And let's say the total cash flow is $1,000 a month. The return is $12,000, basically 12,000 over 100,000, and your ROI would be 12%. Another scenario. Let's say you buy the same house for $100,000, but you only have $50,000, and you borrow that $50,000 at 8%. Total cost of interest for 1 year, $4,000. So your cash flow would be 12,000 minus the 4, or 8,000. So your ROI now becomes 16%, which is 8,000 over 50,000. Next scenario, let's say you buy the same house again, but this time you put in $20,000 down payment and you borrow 80,000 at 8%. Now, cost of borrowing is $6,400, and your cash flow is 12,000 minus the 64, or 5,600 divided by 20,000. Now, ROI on that is a whopping 28%. Wow. Do you see the difference already? Number 4, let's buy that same house one more time. But this time you're going to bring in a JV partner. So you're not going to put any money of your own. And let's say that JV partner is bringing in all the money. So now you bring in a JV partner, and that person puts in the $100,000. The cash flow is still $12,000. And here I'm saying you give the 75 to the JV partner and you get 3,000 or 25%. So now your ROI is infinite because you didn't put any money in. Do you see how having a JV partner can increase your return on investment, because all you're doing is putting in your time? So your ROI again now is infinite. So leverage, 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 guys. So by using other people's money, the increase you get is on the total price and not just the percentage of the down payment. So if a house went up by 5%, the increase you get is the 5,000, which is the whole 100,000. Doesn't matter if you put in the whole cash or you borrowed most of it or somebody else brought that in. So that $5,000 actually increases your ROI again by another 25%. So here's a comparison slide, which is basically if you put in all the money, your ROI is 12%. If you put in 50% of the money, or 50,000 in this case, your ROI is 16%. With 20% down, your ROI was 28. And if you don't put any money in and you bring in a JV partner, yes, here, even though I'm saying 75-25, believe me, you can also do 25, 50-50. So one thing I'm going to say here is take the emotions out of any decisions. Only make the decision based on numbers, nothing else, nothing else. Not how it looks, doesn't matter. So achieving financial freedom is possible. The financial freedom number, again, let's work backwards. So if your financial freedom number is $2,000, work backwards to see how many properties you need to buy or how much cash flow you need. So it could be 5 properties, it could be 10 properties. It's up to you. We could recap by saying I've shown you how I got into real estate. how I was able to put my kids through school in real estate. And I think RJ mentioned two of my boys are in med school. One has gone through business school as well. So, yes, they are educated. Yes, they cost me a lot of money. I could probably say that's a whole lot of houses out there in those three boys. Um, you know my why now. Importance of educating yourself, because if you want to JV with other people, they would need to be seeing that you are an authority. You don't need to know everything before you start taking the first step, guys. So I've also shown you the leverage with the 4 different scenarios. So in the past 20 minutes, I hope I've given you value. I wish I could skip this. And because I know my 20 minutes are up, I did discover it the hard way, but remember the mentor can take you there in a faster way. So my personal mission is to help and guide you in becoming successful, to save you time, money, and energy. And I want to reach a lot of people and get at least 100 people reach financial freedom. So I do have a free training coming up next week. You could go and register at www.thenomoneydownacademy.com, and we have a free 2-hour session on next Thursday at 7 o'clock. For attending here today, I have prepared a guide. It's called Your Free Guide to 10 Ways to Buy Property with No Money Down. You can go and download that here, www.thenomoneydownacademy.com/guide. I can be found on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn under Single Mom Millionaire or Single Mom Millionaire Official. On LinkedIn, just by my name, Sadhana Sabharwal. Questions? RJ?
Yeah, ma'am. Wonderful. Listen, you know what? We call it no money down. You pointed out somebody needs to pay the bill. Somebody needs to have money down. Otherwise, it doesn't happen, right?
I can't hear you.
Now I can hear RJ on my
You
side.
can hear me?
Yep.
Oh, right. She can't hear me. So how can we do questions then?
Do in the comments. Just try the comments.
Can she read the comments?
I don't know. Ask. I'm not too sure. You have to use the comments inside the StreamYard.
So again, folks, you know what? Technical difficulties. We're trying to figure these things out. I wish we could do questions for Sadhana.
All
I
right.
need to hear her story. Again, I can't do questions for Sadhana. That is unfortunate. But again, I brought you to this lady.
Oh,
I brought you to this
RJ,
lady. Yep.
do you have a piece of paper?
Why? What
Write down the question on a piece of paper and put it up in the screen. Try that. And then see if
No,
she can answer it.
no. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Just an idea.
Sadhana, can you hear me
Sorry.
now? No, she can't hear me. That's okay. I
Can you
think
hear
we're
me?
we can hear you. Yeah, unfortunately,
me?
we can't do questions for Sadhana. It's okay, Curtis. We'll move on. It's
Okay.
an unfortunate part. But I do want people to understand that they can get involved in the No Money Down Academy. Of course, use /RJ to help support us here and get involved in. I'm taking this course myself. I'm going to learn all I can about real estate because as much as she said it's no money down, you have to put the deal together. And you need that training. You need to know the technical background to help you put that deal together so you're walking to those investors to get that money with some skills. So please join Sadhana at www.thenommoneydownacademy.com/RJ. And of course, you can get her free guide as well at thenommoneydownacademy.com/guide. I am going to end the session here with Sadhana, but please reach out to her. Again, you can also follow her at thesinglemommillionaire.com. I want to thank Sadhana for your time today. We are going to end and move on to our next segment. But that is Sadhana Sabharwal, the single mom millionaire. and you can follow her at the No Money Down Academy.com/RJ.
I can hear you now. I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
yeah,
Were there any questions or I'm okay?
You know what? I was going to ask you a couple of questions.
Yes.
I think I covered it, but let's just do it. You mentioned that it's no money down, but somebody has to pay the bill at the end of the day.
Correct. It's just not money coming out of your pocket.
Right.
That's the no money.
Okay. So they have to come to an investor with the deal.
There's other ways of doing it too. I don't think it's always an investor. There's different ways of doing this.
Right. But they have to get the money, so they have to come to the person with a plan. They have to be able to put that plan together themselves.
Correct. No, but I also help you with my course. I'm also giving away people one-on-ones as well.
That's what I was getting at, is they need the training. They need to know a little bit of the background and the process first before they move on. And
that's what this course does. See, this course, it will take you from a beginner to a mid-level minimum, and then you work one-on-one, and then you can do more.
Right, because practice makes permanent.
Correct. I like that one.
Yeah, I think it was T. Harv Eker, because he says practice doesn't make permanent or perfect, it makes permanent. And there's an expression to live by. Thank you, Sadma, for your time today. I want to make sure people get access to your course. I'm going to be taking it myself. Looking forward to all I can learn, in the real estate field. Thank you so much.
Thank you again for having me, and I apologize for all of this. Whatever. Not meant to be. Hopefully it went okay.
Working out.
We did okay. Again, our goal was to put on the best possible event we could on this day.
Yes. And you guys are doing an awesome job. Great job, Curtis. Great job, RJ.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
RJ, can you talk to? Can you say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
We can't. Wilma's trying to get in, but she's not able to get in for some reason. Are you able to invite her on your end? It's not working for me.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Is she our next speaker? She is, right?
No, it's Anthony's next.
Okay, so let me, I'm not even going to worry about talking about my book. Today is about if I get a chance to talk about the 10 steps, I will. But today is about the people I get to share with you guys, the people out there, the people who have helped me and Curtis and many people in our circle of influence to get where we are today. You've heard from a lot of people that it's about mentors. It's about the people that you bring into your life to help you become better, to help you build a better life. And that's our mission here today. So I'm not going to worry so much about my book. I want you to meet the people out there. So our next guest, again, it's his smile. It's his personality. We were told that there are genuine people out there. And when you meet a genuine personality, you latch onto them and you find out all they're about. And I knew he was in the field of finances and money, but that's not what he's here to talk about today because he's retired. He doesn't do that anymore, but he has a passion for helping people become better, for helping people find the help you need. And that's why we brought him here today. There's a gap in the market that Anthony Florendo is here to surely fill. And so I want you to introduce you to him today. Anthony, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah.
You are on.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you for being so patient with us this morning. We've had some glitches, we've had some difficulties, but we're working to get everybody on and scheduled in their adequate times. You are a psychotherapist, and you are going to help people get affordable health care.
That's right, mental health care.
Let's just have Curtis talk a little bit about you before we get into your talk today.
Wonderful.
All right. Hi, Anthony. How you doing today? Good to meet you for the first time.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Curtis.
Okay, so I got your little bio thing here. So it says, Anthony Florendo retired from professional life. However, because of the crisis in mental health brought about by the pandemic and the ensuing financial stress, he is back into practice to respond to the need for an accessible mental health practitioner and self-development community who are often without private insurance to pay for psychotherapy sessions. Anthony is passionate about everyone having access to mental health professionals and not just those who have insurance or can pay full rate of a psychotherapist out of pocket. So you're going to show us how to save some money and get some great mental health today, Anthony?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's
Thank you,
go. Let's do it. Thank you.
RJ. Well, I did not have my talk today, and I was thinking about it last night, and it's a good thing I didn't because this allows me to introduce another point. I would have called my talk entrepreneurship and its effect or its relation to mental health. So let me repeat that. Entrepreneurship and its relation to mental health. The reason why I'm glad I didn't title it like that, because now that I've said the title, something inside you bubbled up and you more or less know what I'm going to be talking about, right? That's something that where it came from is called your subconscious. Subconscious is your uh, unending source or infinite source of creativity, and it has knowledge. It has memory of everything that you've done. My job as a psychotherapist is to bring that knowledge out from the subconscious level, bring it up to the conscious level, and now it's in daylight. It's like birthing an idea, bring it out from the subconscious level into the realm of consciousness. And now we can start our what I call intellectual exploration. It's just an intellectual exploration to come to an understanding of what it is you're going through. So my name is Anthony Florendo, and I'm a professionally accredited psychotherapist. And what I'd like to do right now is I'm just going to name a few psychological profile of an entrepreneur or a business owner. Now you're there, I can't see you, and that's fine. You don't have to take notes, but when I say a psychological profile and you agree, just nod your head. Okay, just nod your head. Nobody's watching you, so it's okay. You can nod your head. If what I say doesn't agree with you, you can shake your head. Okay, so number one is the psychological profile of a business owner is driven to succeed. Okay, number two is goal oriented. Like RJ and Curtis, they set a goal that they will launch this program today, and they did. So goal oriented. That's the role of that's a psychological profile of business owners. And number three, and Annie spoke about this in her Ninja Talk, is confident. Um, Psychologically, business owners are confident more so than other people, and they are passionate. We all have our passion. In business owners, these are more pronounced than other people, and finance minded. They mind the dollars and cents, and they're independent. Yeah, they're independent, and they're focused. Okay, they also have an ego more so than other people. You want to be the best, want to be number one. They're resilient, they're focused, and the last thing that I can say is they're open-minded. Now, if this most of these things pertain to you, that's great. If they don't, that's great too. I'm just saying the psychological profile of a business owner is that. Now, what does that do when it comes to your mental health? Okay, now you're driven to succeed. That causes stress. Okay, you're putting on more stress than other people on a longer period of time. You have goal oriented. What does that do to you? You're volunteering to put on pressure on yourself. Okay, you're confident. Sometimes you're confident, you don't ask for help, right? And you're passionate. You're passionate, you burn out, right? You're financially minded. Okay, what that does is it magnifies your financial problems. It's such a big deal for you, your financial problems. You're independent, it can also mean you're stubborn. Okay? You have an ego, okay, which is good in some ways because it allows you to strive better, but you're also too hard on yourselves. You're resilient, but that resilient is one thing, but you're also long suffering. You take on punishment way too long. I don't know if this is resounding with anybody. And you're focused. You're focused on your business. What that does is your personal life suffers. I don't know if you noticed, but many of your friends are having a great time with their lives more so than you do. And open-minded is good because now you're seeking new information, which is what this whole thing is all about. We're seeking new information. Now, role of mental health in personal and business success of entrepreneurs. This is according to the World Economic Forum in 2019. I think it's in March 2019. Okay, so this is not me. So what happens to entrepreneurs? Okay, they are you ready for this? Twice as likely to suffer from depression compared to the general population. Twice as likely. What about ADHD? 6 times more likely to suffer from ADHD. Substance abuse, 3 times more likely to suffer from substance abuse. Bipolar, 10 times more likely to suffer from bipolar. Psychiatric hospitalization, 2 times more likely to suffer from psychiatric hospitalization. And don't shoot the messenger. Suicidal thoughts. Entrepreneurs are twice as likely to have suicidal thoughts. Now I'm thinking to myself, which is the chicken, which is the egg? Are entrepreneurs multiple times more susceptible to mental health crisis than the general population? Or is it that the psychological profile of an entrepreneur, like the one we ran through, predisposes the entrepreneur to suffering from mental health? You know what? The answer is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Either way, entrepreneurs are suffering from mental health crisis that is unrecognized, sometimes by themselves. They don't even recognize it and remain untreated for a very long time. Remember one of the psychological profile of entrepreneur. It's called the resiliency. It can also mean you take on too much for too long, not even recognizing that you are taking on too much for too long. Okay, so I don't have slides like everybody else, but I think that's fine with you guys. I can give you my notes if you send me a note on florendo.anthony@gmail.com. It's there. Okay, reasons why entrepreneurs remain untreated despite mental health crisis. So we already know that the World Economic Forum in 2019, World Economic Forum is the international organization that does projects to keep the economy healthy among international nations. They focused on mental health crisis among entrepreneurs last year. Why? Because entrepreneurs make up a large portion of the employers of an economy. Big corporations, because there's so few of them, they contribute less than the small self-employed people together. So the health of the economy is dependent on the self-employed or entrepreneurs. That's why they need to look at the state of the mental health of the entrepreneurs. And they said there is a mental health crisis. So why aren't entrepreneurs forming a beeline to get help? Well, I can think of 3 reasons, okay? And you can agree or disagree with me on this one. Number 1, I think, is awareness. Entrepreneurs, because of their resiliency, like we talked about, They normalize being in a state of mental health crisis. They've learned to normalize it, okay, resulting in a suboptimal performance. So they're wondering, how come I'm not as productive as I want to be? How come, how come, how come? Well, maybe you're operating on suboptimal level because you are burdened by mental health crisis. So, but if you are not aware of that, then your focus will be, how can I optimize my performance, right? It's not about optimizing performance, it's about eliminating aspects that are stopping you from doing your best. And one of that, very importantly, I would suggest, is your mental health. Number two is access. So what's the I've suffered mental health too, okay? I can tell you this. So what's the first thing you do? You go see your GP, your family physician. My family physician looked at me, took out a questionnaire. How long have you slept? Is your sleep restful? Blah, blah, blah. And then he rated it and he says, you're depressed. Okay, so he gave me a prescription of, I think it's Alexa. Okay, so, all right. And then off I go. That took 5 minutes. That's the amount of mental health care I got from from my my GP. So now I came back to him and I told him months later, it's not working. So what he said, okay, I will refer you to a psychiatrist. So the waiting list for psychiatrists is a month, a year and a half, And by the time I got to the psychiatrist, he retired. So I had to go on in another lineup. In the meantime, I went to because I was the marketing director for Canada for a pharmaceutical company at that time. I have access to extended health care. So I applied to get relief from a psychotherapist. The psychotherapist that was assigned to me, because you don't say which psychotherapist you'll go to. They'll tell you which psychotherapist you go to. He's a young man from Cuba. He just finished his course, and none of what he's saying is resonating with me. Because I'm going to tell you something, okay? You will agree or not. Only entrepreneurs understand entrepreneurs, okay? I don't know if that's a revelation to you. You can observe this in your relationships. It is hard for an entrepreneur to have a relationship. It's because only entrepreneurs understand entrepreneurs. So now I'm talking to a psychotherapist who doesn't understand how it is to be an entrepreneur. Although I was working for a corporation, I was what I call an intrapreneur. I'm doing things very entrepreneurial in my corporation. So I function like an entrepreneur, even though I was an intrapreneur. Okay, so now this young kid from Cuba doesn't know where I'm coming from, does not have any understanding of what it is what are my psychological profile, and we're just after 2 sessions I terminated it because it's going nowhere. The third reason why entrepreneurs or business owners do not get the help that they want is cost. Like I said, when I was a marketing director for Canada for a multinational drug corporation, I had all sorts of benefits, okay? But as an entrepreneur, most of us, and you can agree or disagree with me, most of us do not have an extended healthcare benefit. So for you to see a psychotherapist in Toronto, where I'm operating out of, is $160 per session. Okay, so that's out of pocket. There's that commitment and there's a time commitment. Usually if you go to a psychotherapist, they will put you on a program. You see them once a week, and then twice a month, and then once a month. Okay, but you are on a program. So there's also the time commitment. So those are the 3 reasons, top reasons I think You can think of many more reasons, but those are the three reasons I can think of right now why why uh, why entrepreneurs do not access mental health help because of awareness. Like I said, they normalize the state of mental health crisis. They've learned to normalize it. Access, they have no access to people who can help them, or cost. The people who can help them are cost too much. Okay, so what I've done, because I'm already retired, like I said, right? My last gig as a as an entrepreneur was I had my own financial corporation. It was hugely successful. By the time I sold it, I was worth $5 million a year. I sold it in April, and I'm retired. So I've started this step out of the. I got accredited, professionally accredited as a psychotherapist. I've done all the courses, and I've done the exams, and I've done the accreditation. I wrote 2 clinical papers. I defended my clinical papers, and here I am. Okay, so my program, step out of the blues with Anthony, and you can find this on Facebook if you just go step out of the blues with Anthony. I'm not saying Anthony will push you out of the blues. I'm not saying you step out of the blues. I'm saying let's step out of your blues together. Step out of the blues with Anthony. Uh, what I can say is that uh, I'm an entrepreneur. I understand what you're going through as an entrepreneur. I understand your psychological profile. I understand what special needs you have. And I'm old. I'm retired. I had all the life experience. I built my own factory when I was 17 years old in the Philippines. I built a shirt factory in the Philippines, a high-end men's formal attire in the Philippines at 17. I had 100 sewers, no, 90 sewers plus other employees. So 100 in total, about 100. Okay, so I know how to be an entrepreneur. So my promise to you is you can go to Step Out of the Blues with Anthony and Facebook and book an appointment, or you can just email me at florendo.anthony@gmail.com. And I'm not going to offer my service for free because interaction requires an exchange of energy. I hope it requires an exchange of energy. So it's not going to be free, but I can accommodate you no matter what your financial circumstances. And that's it. That's my offering to you today. Thank you.
Anthony, perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for. Again, you say you represent entrepreneurs. That's going to be your niche. That's going to be your specialty. But
Yes.
you're also a person, right? So if
Yes.
some individual called you with a concern, are you going to turn them away because they're not an entrepreneur?
No way, man. I'm just saying I'm focused on entrepreneurs. Actually, I'm focused on two major groups, entrepreneurs and creative people, because I have a lot of connection with the entertainment industry, and they all, they have so many issues they have to deal with. But entrepreneurs, I find, need special help because ordinary people, they may be working, they may have insurance. Entrepreneurs don't have that, right? So it's a first come first serve basis. As long as you reach out to me, I'm going to set you an appointment, whether you're an entrepreneur or not. But I'm not promoting on the non-entrepreneur section. I'm only promoting the entrepreneur and the creative people market.
Yep.
But I'm here to help anyone.
Right. That's exactly it. And now, Curtis, you're the positivity guy. You're the person who wants to help people with their attitude, their emotions. Do you have anything you'd like to talk to Anthony about? Any questions for him?
Not really. I think what he's doing is great to help people out because he is right about entrepreneurs. They have a tendency to be a little bit more finicky to work with because they have their own way to do things and they think they're the boss all the time. And they need to just listen to someone else sometimes, right?
I think I'm gonna use that because the term I use is hard to deal with, but finicky is, I think.
and not to mention, they do have a lot to deal with as well. Trying to run a business and being responsible for their own income, plus keeping this business run, plus maybe employees and things that go along with that. There's so much
Especially women
involved.
entrepreneur, they're getting it both ways. Women entrepreneur, because they also have to deal with traditional female roles at home.
Right.
Although they shouldn't, but they still do. They're still pressured to do that.
Yep. And women, you know what? I give it off to women right now because
Yeah.
they listen. My wife, she works a full-time job, and then she comes home and she runs my household.
Yeah,
Right, and
I
she's
know.
the one who coordinates
This is
it.
this
And
is me when Veronica comes home. I'm
yes,
not working. It's not working. That's how I do it when she gets
so
home.
blessed to our women because for without them we couldn't keep going ourselves. But
Yep.
Anthony, thank you for everything you do because listen, I know as well as anybody, healthcare needs to be accessible. And you
Yes,
know what? Yes, you shouldn't do it for free, but it's very honorable that you are bringing this to people for the best price they can possibly pay.
yes, that's right. Don't let costs stop you. If you
Exactly.
don't recognize the need, that's one thing. But if you
Yeah.
recognize the need and cost is stopping you, don't let it stop you.
Mhm. So I've been posting out your email address, and I've been
Yes,
posting out there for Step Out with Anthony. Again, thank you because excuse me, this is such a valuable service. Please reach out to Anthony. Get your
Yeah.
affordable health care now. What else can I say? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for bringing this to
Thank
everybody.
you,
awesome,
Anthony.
awesome.
Great job.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
And
So
then
RJ, what's the thing to say? Matthew's trying to get someone else in today, but I can't. I can't access it. You
yeah,
want to look into it
yeah, no, I'm
after?
not worried about VIPs today. Unfortunately, there's a lot to worry about, a lot to coordinate. I saw that
Okay.
message, but we're going to
Oh,
move on
perfect.
with our program because we
All
are
right.
running a
Excellent.
little bit behind schedule with all the glitches and stuff we had.
Yep. For
So
sure.
our next guest, again, we just talked about how you can heal yourself mentally, right? There's a
Yep.
lot to deal with your emotions, your attitude, your behavior, trying to stay strong, trying to stay healthy in this mind of ours, which needs to keep running to keep us running healthy and strong. Our next guest believes you also need to be healthy spiritually. She's very in tune with the spirits. She sees angels. Now, please don't think I'm crazy by saying that. She is in touch with the angel world. She is in touch with your spiritual guides and can communicate with your spiritual guides. She'll be able to explain a lot that more than I am. I don't want you to think this is some hokey thing that we shouldn't understand because trust me, she's also a scientist. She's not a weird out there lady. You'll see she's very down to earth. Wilma David, you want to tell us a little bit about her, Curtis? And I'll bring her
Sure.
on while you introduce her.
Okay. Here's a short bio here. William A. David is a gifted archangel master healer. Excellent. A neurolinguistic and life purpose practitioner. She's a passionate healer with an alternative approach dedicated to helping clients through a wide range of physical, emotional, and spiritual transitions in the most efficient and transformational manner possible. Her treatments are specifically tailored to the needs of each client to ensure they receive the approach that works best for them. And William David, thank you for joining us today, and you're on.
Hi everyone.
Awesome,
Finally,
awesome, you're on.
I made it. Anyway, actually, this is the perfect time to host this event because today is 12/12. It's a powerful energetic portal. I don't know if anybody's aware because I'm very much attuned. I think RJ is about to get in. He's logging in.
You know
Hey
what?
RJ.
I'm getting into numerology. And if I can interrupt for a minute, because yes, you know what?
Sure.
I'm an empath and I want to take that forward. And I might even get into learning tarot as well, because I like this not necessarily fortune telling field, but being able to help people see the possible path forward. So numerology today, 1212, in my study represents being ready to better significant connections to the people you surround yourself with and the way they impact you and make you feel. That's 1212
Correct.
today.
Correct.
Then we have
You got it.
2020. Then we have 2020, which says that your guardian angels are always beside you, supporting you with every step of the way. My partner Curtis just decided to pick 12/12/2020 for the day of our event. And it's very fortuitous that A, we picked that event, and B, we have a spiritual guide here to tell us more about it.
Hey, RJ. Finally, we're here and we made it. You made it, and Curtis, right? And
Yes, thank you.
this interference that you are going through right now with all these technical challenges is part of an energy. There is a lot of triggers out there that you don't see in the outside force. So I'm glad that you are keeping it on and just really being very, very patient. Anyway, my name is Wilma David, and I am a certified life coach, NLP practitioner, and by education, I am a chemical engineer. And at the same time, I've studied quantum metaphysics, bioenergy, aura, crystals, Reiki, theta healing, and other form of healing modalities. And the most important thing is like uh, we are knowing how to balance our energies, because when our energies are not balanced, especially the mind, body, and soul alignment, that is the one that is triggering people to have problems, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, or any aspects of their lives. And one thing that I wanted to emphasize as a therapist or a healer, the importance of cleansing aura. All right, and you always hear to people like say, "Hey," when you see someone, "Hey, your aura is nice. Your aura is beautiful. You look great today," or "Your aura is like gloomy or dark." Okay, but what it is really is about aura. All right, aura is an energetic life force of an individual. So when the aura, as a metaphor, aura is similar to a filter, okay, like a screen, like a mesh of a screen. So if a person's aura is clean, like a screen, then the vibration or frequency of happening in your life is flowing smoothly. It's kind of like your oxygen level is at par or at 100%. But once your aura is clogged or blocked, or similarly to any filter of a car or a filter of your sink or a water filter or any type of filter in the house, when that screen is dirty, then there is like malfunction. There is no proper circulation. So in this case, when your aura is also blocked, what's happening is like nothing is happening in your life. Okay, so we have to cleanse your aura similarly, like you cleanse your hair, you go to a massage or you go to a gym. But this aura is something that you don't see in your naked eye, in your visible eye, right? And the thing is in the body, when your body is dirty and you accumulated some dust or something, you take a shower, correct? But the aura is something apart inside of you, but you don't see it. And the importance of cleansing an aura, similarly to when you bring your car for a change oil or you go to a chiropractor or a massage, is once you are cleansing your aura, it's shifting the energy. It's allowing you to manifest areas of your life, such as money, career, relationship, or um, any type of things in the physical, mental, emotional state of your life is starting to flow. So what happened is like when your aura is blocked. So what are these blockages in the aura? So these are, let's say, stress, anxiety, fear, or fatigue. And sometimes the aura can be blocked. Why it can be blocked? Let's say, for example, you experience death, you experience betrayal, you experience any type of pain that can cause your aura to rip or to have a tear. All right. So once your aura is completely full of dirt, like a screen, there's no way to go. So what happening is blocking your spiritual, is blocking your physical, your mental, emotional, and mental state of your life, then nothing is happening. All right. So what's the take on this symposium is to educate the people, the viewers of this Live, Love, Life Empowerment, is to educate people the importance of cleansing the aura. All right. And similarly, in a house or something in your screen, you call a plumber, or you call a mechanic, or you call a duct cleaner to cleanse these blockages in your house, right? And here I am, a gifted spiritual healer, archangel master healer, and backed up with my science background because I used to work in pharmaceutical companies with doctors and scientists. And I used to develop drugs. But there's a holistic way to help people feel better. And one of them, as well as I said, is like cleansing all these negative energies and balancing your energies in totality. So that's very, very important. So for those who wanted to reach me out, and as RJ have mentioned, I have been to attune to angels, and I have psychic abilities. I can read people's past lives and present life as well. And I connect with spirit guides. And I use different kinds of quantum and healing modalities to be able to help people in any areas of their life, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual. And I do customize the healing depending on what you need in your life. And as I said, the unseen forces or the things that you don't see are very powerful. So, and with my abilities as a NLP coach, as an archangel master healer, and my psychic abilities, and using metaphysical and quantum energies, I'm able to help thousands of clients to switch, the dynamic of their lives. So, RJ, I'm here if you have any questions.
Hi, yes, welcome
Hi,
so much.
RJ.
Thank you
Any
so much for
questions?
that. Absolutely.
I
You
want
know
to
what?
interact with you.
I really hadn't prepared for questions for you other than to talk about this with you. Let's go through it because
Correct.
again, people are going to see it. Let's start with you have a medical science background, right?
Correct. Correct.
You're not some spiritual guru who just came out of
No,
nowhere and meditated on this and figured it all out, right?
no, I have a chemical engineering background. So, and I have worked in pharmaceutical development for drugs, and I work with doctors and scientists for the last 15 years. So
And
that's my
as such,
profession. Mhm. Mhm.
right, and as such you have a desire to get people to that better life without the drugs.
Correct. Correct. It's not, if it's not necessary, because a lot of this holistic approach, there is a root cause to this. And professionally, like I said, this is my professional background, but I am born with a gift. I told you, I think as early as 7 years old, I've been seeing angels at the age of 7 years old. And I'm not a normal person because I see paranormal things that not normal people can see, right? So there
Yes.
are other areas in life that sometimes cannot just be explained by science, but it has to be highly metaphysical and quantum. All right. So that's very, very important because sometimes there are problems in life that the problems is not something that, hold on a second, it's just
Yep.
my phone. Mhm. So the problem sometimes is just like people doesn't know that some things that they don't see is causing people to be sick or not manifesting. And one of them is energy. All right. So if you have negative energies that are in your system, you might wonder you're not manifesting. You're stuck in areas of your life, stuck in whether physical, mental, emotional. Okay. And a lot of my clients, believe it or not, they have tried many approach medically, but sometimes the problem is not in the medical.
Hello.
The
Okay.
problem sometimes in, yeah, the problem sometimes in, let's say, past life. These things are not something that normal people believe, like past life, like a karma, right? So as I said, some people might have like wrongdoings in the past. Remember, it's the law of cause and effect, you know? So sometimes you might have done something in the past that you are feeling the effect right now. So that negative energy is still there. Okay. So there's a way on the metaphysical side to be able to cleanse this. You know, as I said, like if you are always stuck, and a lot of my clients are asking, Wilma, I'm not manifesting money. I'm stuck with my career. I have problems in relationship. Okay. Because the energy and vibration is not in you. It's kind of like, like the air. The air, you don't see the air. You breathe the air, but it's the source of our life, right? So similarly, there are other unseen forces that similarly, like me, as a gifted person, I see these things in a person, in an individual. And I think you mentioned in the beginning that I talk to spirits, which is true. Is because remember, a person has a mind, a body, and a spirit. Okay, your body you can see, and you can go to a doctor, you can go to a therapist, you can go to the gym, right? And your mind, of course, it's part of you, but you cannot also see your mind. All right, and your soul, a spirit, everybody has that because mind, body, and soul, right? So your soul or spirit, you don't see yourself. But me as a gifted person, when I heal the person, I connect to your spirit. All right. Because nobody knows who you are except your own spirit. But the thing is, like, you're just not able to talk to your spirit. That's why I am a medium of that. And when I am a medium to that, when I connect to the spirit, like your own spirit, RJ, it tells me a lot about you. It tells me a lot about your past. It tells me about what's going on in your present. It tells me a lot of what's going on or potentially will happen. Okay. And that is the thing that not normal people can see. And that's where I am gifted as an archangel healer.
And you've taken opportunity to bring these things to my attention on my behalf, and I appreciate that. You've certainly even gone out of your way to help clear or give me blessings in these areas. You've done a lot of work yourself to get me where I am today, to help remove some of that negative energy. I now carry an obsidian stone with me every single day to try and give me those good vibrations, and because again, you've helped me realize there is a lot of negative energy and a lot of blockages. Thankfully, I've grown a lot and am able to just roll with the punches and not accept those things into my life anymore. And I think that's a big part of it too.
Mhm. That's true. It's because like sometimes what's happening in our lives right now is not our fault. Okay. Some of them, as I said, like it could be a negative energy from other people, and it's like virus. You don't see the virus, but it clings on you. All right. It clings in your aura, in your energetic field. And when your energetic field is already full of virus that you don't see over the years of your lifetime, imagine, let's say, from 1 year old to right now, let's say you're 40 or 45 years old or 50 years old, you have accumulated all this dust in your aura, okay? And you don't see it. So, similarly to a car, you change the filter of the car and bring it to the mechanic every, let's say, 3 months or every certain kilometers, right? Or let's say, for example, the dryer of your clothes. Remember, there's a screen in the dryer of your clothes, and then before you load the clothes in the dryer, you clean those lint in the dryer, right? So your aura is like that, like the screen in the dryer of the clothes. So when the screen is full of those dirt, the clothes will not dry, correct? It
Yes.
will just not dry. And similarly to the car, if your filter is like dirty, the car exhaust or the heat or whatever it is not properly circulating, right? So over your lifetime, you have accumulated all this dirt, but it's not a virus, but it's just dirt, okay? That needs to be cleansed. The dirt are, let's say, stressed, overwork, uh, fatigue, you're not sleeping, or you're betrayed by a friend, or you had death, you had all these negative, you have a toxic boss, right? So those are all dirty, toxic energies over your lifetime. But the thing is, like, people go to massage because they have like a node, so they want the node to to be massaged, right?
Yep.
But the importance is like the aura. Yeah, you can temporarily relieve the aura, but the dirt is still there inside your aura. okay? And you're not changing it, you're not cleaning it, right? Similarly, like, Wilma, how can I do it? Well, similarly, in a sink, when it's clogged, you call a plumber, correct? You call a plumber to unplug it, right? So there are people who are specialized in that field that we are able to help. Like me, I'm able to help because I combine different approach of modality, healing modality, uh, based on my science background and based on being an NLP practitioner. NLP is because you understand the beliefs of the person. Okay, the metaphysical side is something that you don't see. Like for me, I understand planetary movement, the moon cycle, you know, because
Mhm.
it affects us, right? I understand numerology. All right, so there are many factors that just beyond science, and a lot of things are frequency and vibration. So when you ask me how do I heal people remotely, because a lot of people ask me that, Wilma, how can
Yep.
you heal people remotely? The way to do that is because, like as I said, souls are souls, and I am a soul traveler. Okay, and what happens is that I'm like a Wi-Fi. You know, let's say if I'm working on you, all I need from you is to see your name and your photo. All right. So when I see your photo and I'm working on you, right away I'm like a Wi-Fi. I'm starting to connect with your conscious and subconscious mind and your spirit right away. All right. So that is the thing that very, very unique with me is because, as I said, I am a soul traveler. So, and not all people can have that as a hobby. And I have that as a hobby. And at the same time, it's my it's my profession.
Yes, and you're so lucky in that. There you have it from the spiritual plumber who's going to go in and clean out your
I
aura.
like that, spiritual plumber. And for anyone who is interested to contact me, okay, they can reach out to you, RJ,
Yeah.
or
I've been posting your link, wilmaangel.com.
all
And
right.
then please, for now, let's have people use the code LLL2021 so that they know that they came from this platform and you know what, they can connect with us that way. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for everything you've done to help me get here and Curtis get here. We've all done a lot of work to help put this on. Yeah, there's going to be technical glitches. I expected it.
You'll be
But yeah,
fine. The angels are around you. You'll be fine.
thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. So
Yeah.
thank you for joining us today, Wilma. We're going to keep moving on. Um, we are talking about betterment. And by the way, I should point out that Wilma was on with us at 12:12. Curtis was sure to mention that in our chat. Again, we're worried about becoming better and improving those connections and improving the people around you. That's what it takes to build a better life. And that's what we're talking about here in Live and Love Life. We're going to keep moving on with our discussions from our panelists because, again, that's the reason I've invited you here today. I really want you to meet all these people. And my next guest has been on a journey recently himself. Some that people can't recover. It's that type of a concern, and maybe he'll get into telling you about that as he talks about igniting your intuition and unlocking your creativity for impact. Curtis, would you
Yes.
like to tell us a little bit about our next guest, Matthew Gardner? And I'll bring
All
him on
right.
for you while you introduce him.
Fine. Thank you, RJ. Matthew Gardner, give you a bio here, Matthew, is the founder of Phoenix Rising Mastermind. He works collaboratively with visionary leaders and entrepreneurs who want to make the world a better place. In 2015, Matthew met his beautiful fiancée, Gail. They shared many great memories together. In 2018, Gail was diagnosed with breast cancer, very sad, which became terminal, and she subsequently passed away in April 2020. Sorry to hear about that. After his mental and emotional recovery, Matthew awakened to a new level of love and spiritual awareness. He now uses his awakening gifts to serve spiritual entrepreneurs. Thank you very much, Matthew, for being with us here today, and let's hear your story.
Thank you, Curtis. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously that was an awakening process for me with my fiance Gail's passing. And what I realized, and I think this is very apropos for this audience here, that our physical body dying is not the end of life. particularly after Wilma, their previous guest. So that's exactly the experience I had after recovering from Gail's passing, her physical death. I was reborn into a new level of consciousness, a new level of spiritual awareness, and been in communication with her ever since. In fact, she actually came to me in spirit the morning before she passed away and really explained to me this whole process of life. We go through the roles that we play, and it's all perfect, really. And that's not to negate the grieving process by any means, because that's also part of the human experience. And the more we're emotionally attached to anything in life, we're going to have those emotional bonds to people, to circumstances, etc. However, I have realized that it's not so much about the idea of non-attachment, because that can sometimes sound cold, but when we have true compassion and full commitment to the moment, then the past doesn't weigh on us. Then we're not carrying it around with ourselves any longer in life. And we can just be who we truly are in the moment, for the moment, enjoying every aspect of the gifts that God is giving us in this beautiful life. And I've been blessed to have a lot of deep spiritual experiences this year. And I truly feel like I'm living with heaven on earth. And I've come to realize that everyone has that opportunity. Everyone's living in their own version of reality. And many choose to live in a world of fear, or at least some element of having fear in their perception. But I just realized it's not a necessity, and fear is actually a positive thing if we choose to use it as a platform for our spiritual growth and our personal development, as I have done. And that's what Phoenix Rising is really all about. And the Phoenix Rising masterclass and workshop that I've created really empower people to allow themselves to deconstruct the old and rebuild the new from a whole new level of awareness, a whole new level of insight, and it grants them the opportunity to make a greater impact in their community. So I'd be happy to chat directly with you, Curtis, or RJ, a little bit about what my process actually is and walk you guys through it, or I can just do it solo on video here. But that's basically why I'm doing what I'm doing now.
I'm here with you. Let's see, Curtis. Curtis, would you like to do an interactive session with Matthew here?
Sure, let's do it. You ready,
Okay.
Matthew?
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, that works.
totally. So,
Yeah.
so the process that I've mainly been utilizing lately to empower my clients and people in my masterclass it's called gamma breathing.
Yeah.
And gamma breathing is specifically designed to put your brain into the gamma frequency, or the gamma brainwave state. And obviously from there we can ignite our intuition and we can unlock our full creative potential, which allows us to make a greater impact, because now we're being more fully self-expressed in terms of who we actually are. So what we can do together here, and then obviously anyone watching right now or viewing the recording can breathe along. And so I'll just outline the instructions really briefly, and then we'll dive into it. So we'll take a focus around like opening the heart, because that's really going to be the power center. And if you think about the heart in terms of the chakras, if you take the chakra scale, rather than having it horizontal, or sorry, rather than having it vertical and you turn it horizontal, it's actually the middle orb. It's the middle balance point of all the other chakras. So if you're living from the heart, everything else falls into balance. So we'll focus around gamma breathing for the purpose of unlocking the heart. And the way it works is the breathing cycle takes a little less than a minute. It's about 3 seconds per breath. It's mouth and nose breathing. And there's a brief hold at the bottom and top of every breath. And it can be done with eyes open or closed. And for you, Curtis, and anyone viewing, all you have to do is follow along, one breath at a time. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, perfect. So just in the aura and spirit of this wonderful symposium, we'll just amplify our positive feelings to share our gifts with the world and those who are viewing. And I'll begin right now. So just begin by breathing all the way in through your mouth and filling your lungs. And mouth out 3 seconds. And mouth in. And mouth out. Nose in. Nose out. Nose in. Nose out. Mouth in. Mouth out. Mouth in. Hold your breath. And let it go. And breathe normal. And it takes a few seconds to stabilize a little bit. So some people are more sensitive than others. And obviously, the more you're into the experience, the more you gain from it. But you're really just looking for 1 degree shift. So I find, and I'll come to you in a second, Curtis, just to get your experience. But I find it's just that 1 degree shift that really makes all the difference. If you're, on the road from New York to LA and you're 1 degree off, you might end up in a totally different location. So what do you notice after that exercise, Curtis?
I feel more relaxed.
Uh-huh.
And it's good.
Cool, great. So I mean, that's obviously the start of effective decision making. Our intuition comes from a place of deep relaxation rather than trying to figure things out or trying to force things to happen. And I find that's the biggest challenge for people in this reality, particularly amidst COVID, is there's a lot of control going on. There's a lot of mandates going on. There's a lot of giving away power to authority going on. And there's nothing wrong with that because people are in that level of awareness where that's how they want to function. But we also have the ability to withdraw giving away our power and really step into our own creation, our own authority. And that's a bit of a link there, a bit of a long link, but that's regarding my upcoming workshop, actually, where what we'll be doing is taking a deeper dive into this type of work for 2 days, about 6 hours per day. And it'll be a wonderful opportunity for people to really get into themselves, because ultimately I think the 2 most important things in this world are trusting ourselves and being honest with ourselves. And if we know ourselves in the deepest way possible, then that's going to reflect outward. And so, I mean, maybe that's a good question here, Curtis, just to kind of dive a little bit more into, is like, in terms of self-honesty, do you feel that that's an important aspect of one's personal development and success in business?
Absolutely. You got to be honest with yourself so you can have better direction of what you want and to achieve it without like having negative energy around you. It'd be more positive when you're honest, right?
And I think, the people we attract is a key indicator of how honest we're being with ourselves. And one thing I learned from Gail, I actually learned 2 really important things that I'd like to share. And one is this idea of her favorite superhero, actually, which was Wonder Woman. And reason being is Wonder Woman had the lasso of truth. And so Gail had this superhuman ability that within 5 or 10 seconds of meeting someone, she could instantly know their level of integrity, their intention, and whether or not they fit into her life. So to me, that's the ultimate superpower, because business is all about relationships. And so if we're going to know how those people fit into our lives, and not from a place of controlling them, but just knowing what position do they play, right? Like on a sports team, for example, there's a lot of different positions on the field. And not everyone's going to be the quarterback or the centerman or whatever, right? So, how we position them is mission critical. And sometimes the best way to position them is like on the bench or off the field, right? Because they just don't know.
Just don't know where they fit in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's our mission critical idea, is where do we position people, and knowing intuitively where they fit, and coming from a place of creativity, having that whole brain functionality, left and right brain hemispheres working synchronistically. And then from there, and this is the second most important thing that I learned from my fiance Gail, is that she said there's 2 types of people in the world. There's gallon people and there's pint people. And it's terms of gallon in terms of our ability to love and give love and receive love. And then there's pint people. And it's not that there's anything wrong with a pint person. It's nothing about their stature. It's just their ability to love is not the same level of development yet. And the only reason why it's important to be aware of that, or one of the main reasons, is because if you're a gallon person and you're giving your love to a pint person, they can't receive all your gifts. They can't receive all your awareness. They're just not capable of it, right? So I think a lot of people in this intuitive space, this creative space, this personal development space, they can sometimes get frustrated because they're trying to help people that aren't capable of receiving what they can give. And so
Right.
we have the option to kind of dumb it down a little bit, but you can only do that for so long, because to be fully creatively expressed, you have to let your light shine the brightest and
Right.
full. And it was Marianne Williamson who said that our greatest fear is really ourselves, is allowing our light to shine and our power to come full force forward. So if we're trying to diminish ourselves to fit into people's pint box of, you know, their ability to receive information and love, we're not going to reach our full potential. So just knowing ourselves in that way, are you a gallon person? And obviously, if people are watching this, the answer is likely yes, you are.
Yeah.
And it's, how do you develop that? How do you bring that even more? And then how do you surround yourself with more gallon-based people so that
Yep.
you can amplify your energy? So let's do one more of these breaths here, Curtis,
Sure.
and then
Okay.
tell me when we need to wrap it up. But
Okay.
what we'll do is amplify love, amplify our ability to give and receive from those that can match our frequency.
Right. Perfect.
So we'll begin by breathing all the way in through the mouth, filling the lungs, and mouth out 3 seconds. Mouth in, mouth out. Nose in, nose out. Nose in, nose out. Mouth in, mouth out. And mouth in. And hold your breath. And let it go. And relax. Just let it stabilize. And it's interesting because the ultimate goal here is just being in that deep, relaxed state and having that peaceful, open heart, no matter what we're doing, because there's obviously lots of things going on in the environment. I'm noticing right now I'm living with a family member, and there's a little bit going on in the background. I'm like, oh man, I hope I'm not getting disturbed while I'm doing this live broadcast, right? But
Yeah.
the idea here, even if that were to happen, we can still approach everything from a peaceful place, and being the eye of the storm is really, from my perspective, the only way to function. What was your experience after that, Curtis?
Very peaceful. I do meditation stuff anyway, so I always find that the breathing techniques really help me refocus. Especially if you're in a stressful situation, you can use the breathing technique to get you recentered and maybe, like you said, be eye of the storm in a situation that may be a little bit turbulent for you at the time. So I did enjoy that. It was very wonderful. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you.
And I kind of followed along here with you as well. And you know what? The very first thing, I felt the energy coming out of me, like there was, you know, starting to get exhaustion. I mean, I've been at this all morning. I've been working hard for the last several days. So there's some negative energy going on right at this point. And you know what? The very first thing, I felt that releasing out of me at the same time. So
very good.
Beautiful. Well, that's what the workshop's going to be. 2 days of deep diving into this type of work, releasing that negative energy, opening up your own magnetic field and heart to receive the abundance of life that's waiting for us. And it's just a decision. We just have to match that frequency, and it becomes our own experience.
And I love that you mentioned it was a decision, because this all boils down to a choice, right? We can choose to be the victim and go, you know what, this is what's happening to me. Life is like that. Or we can choose to do something about it. We can choose to step into our betterment and our greatness and grow a little. And I think we have to make that choice. And thank you for presenting that today, because I mean, you went through some trauma, something that people may have a hard time getting over, right? And thank you for your honesty and your bravery and sharing that with us, because people can learn from that. And it's all in what you put into life.
Amen. Thank you, Archie.
Thank you for sharing with us today.
Thanks, Matthew.
I've placed your links out there. We'll place it on our website. we'll make sure that people, adequately get the opportunity to attend this workshop, because again, we're looking to help people build a better life, and this is one of the ways they can do so.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Matthew.
Okay. Very good. And we'll keep moving right along, folks. We've had a wonderful show this morning. We've been busy. We've presented you with some amazing speakers. And we've kind of opened up a purpose. We've opened up a path for you to begin to build a better life. We've talked about, the need to take care of yourself first, take care of your inner being, your mental health, as well as your spiritual health. And we've also given you a way to get some access to that help now. Thank you, Anthony, for bringing that forward. Again, mental health is an issue out there, especially in our challenging times that we're going through right now. So please reach out to Anthony if you're struggling, if you're not, having a good time of it. There are people out there who want to help you. And Anthony, with his pay what you can system, I can't say enough about that, and I was sure to present him today. But let's talk again, as I mentioned, about the people who brought me here. And I've learned and grown a lot over the last year. And it's because of those mentors and those coaches who take you to the next game, to the next level. I knew I wanted to be in business. I know business moving forward is where my aptitude would lie. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, but I didn't have an entrepreneurial mind. I didn't know enough. As much as I went to a business school, I had some basic training. I didn't know enough about the business world to operate in the field of business. I didn't know what I was doing. But this next guest, I latched onto him and I absorbed everything I could from him because he has a profound mind. I trust his wisdom. I always use those words when talking about him. Those are his, let's call it his brand, because he is a profound mentor, and I am pleased to have accepted him into my life. And I'm pleased that he accepted that role as well, because again, you see a confident, capable person here today, but that person, at least as far as business goes, is because of the help and support I've gotten along the way. So my next guest, I want you to welcome my coach, my mentor, my business advisor, Amit Ambigankar. So Curtis, if you can tell us a little bit about Amit, and I'll bring him on here for the people to meet.
Well, let's welcome Amit Ambikar. I met him a long time ago now, I guess. I bought his book. It's an awesome book that RJ showed you guys earlier. So let's go with the bio. It says, Amit is an award-winning author, professional speaker, business consultant, and certified trainer who specializes in helping business owners structure their business for maximum profit and growth. Amit is the founder and president of Your Profound Solutions, Inc. Amit has been named as one of the top 100 authorities by Influence and in the No magazine. Amit offers business consultation and training that guarantees result for maximum growth and profit using tools that are used by several Fortune 500 companies. He's specialized in sales and business leadership training. I'd like to say that I was on his webinar earlier this week. It was an excellent webinar, very, very interactive, and he has a great course if you're interested. Right, Amit?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that great introduction, Curtis. Thank you. Excellent. Good. Am I able to share my PowerPoint? All right, good. So thank you, RJ, first of all, also for introducing me, and thank you for the amazing implementation. Because
Amit, you want to share your PowerPoint? We can do
please.
that.
Yes.
So you have to open up the screen or application that you want to share.
Yeah, it's ready.
Okay, so then you need to go down to the bottom and share screen.
Done.
And you should be able to choose an application window, and it should be listed there.
Perfect. All right, can you see it?
I've shared it now.
Perfect.
Your presentation is on screen.
Excellent. Thank you, RJ. Thank you. So today I'm going to talk about thriving through challenging times. And this is really a presentation I wanted to do, especially at this time of the era that we are in right now, because people are really in such a situation where they want to do so much, but circumstances, their environment is kind of hindering their progress. So I want to talk about thriving through these challenging times. So the real question is, what's going to happen next? Everybody is thinking about this. What's going to happen next? Like, nobody really knows. They are guesses. They are putting down so many ideas, but really no one knows what's going to happen next. And also about what about the economy? Because you know that the economy in the last 10 months has suffered so much that it will take months or years, or I think decades actually, to come back to where it was just a year ago, just because of the huge impact that we've had. And also, are we in a crisis situation? What is the depth? What is the impact of this crisis? How long it's going to last? So these are some big questions that are facing us right now. If you are an entrepreneur, or if you are wanting to get into entrepreneurship, if you want to open up a business, these are some of the questions that basically are hindering you. They're acting as barriers for your growth. Now, here are some facts that you must be aware of. I want to share some facts with you. Now, did you know that more than 100,000 small businesses that temporarily shut down due to the pandemic are now completely out of business? They shut down because they just wanted to close down for a couple of months, but this has lasted so long that they couldn't sustain, and now they're totally gone out of business. And the current number is actually way more than this. Okay? But the reality is, first of all, far more jobs are lost today than ever before. Okay? The second thing is, unemployment is higher than what we've seen in the last couple of years. Okay? And also, the economy has contracted more sharply than we've seen before. And believe me, this is just the start. This is just the beginning. The impact of this whole COVID is, we're just starting to see the impact of it right now. And the last thing is, the government is spending more and more and more. But what is happening is, because this is the reality, there might be, some things that you might be hearing about. Come on, you can do it, this and that. And there is the whole this rah-rah moment, which is good in a certain area. However, the reality is that this is where we are. This is the reality for a lot of people, and we have to basically confront it. There is no running away from this reality. So if you are into this zone right now, if you are being handling this difficulties, then actually you're not alone, because there are so many people that are going through the same struggle as you are. So never feel that you're just in this by yourself. There are so many people and entrepreneurs that probably started a business some years ago, and now they're stuck because they don't know what to do, right? So in fact, the Forbes magazine, they've actually put out this interesting tracker, and it is a coronavirus bankruptcy tracker. They never come up with this before. Now they're tracking companies that are going bankrupt. And just a couple of days ago, I was looking at this particular tracker, and the amount of companies that are going bankrupt, it's just insane. And these are really, really good names. These are familiar names that you and me have heard about in the media, as we've shopped at a lot of these companies before. And now they're filing for bankruptcies. And it's all over a period of last 10 months. So it's not that these companies got into trouble. That's not the surprising thing. But the surprising thing is how fast it has affected all these companies. That's what's the fascinating part. In the last 10 months, this has happened. So the decline that's happening is really fast. Okay? So how is this information I'm sharing with you relevant with you? The first thing is, if you're involved or if you're planning to be in business, this will impact you. This is very, very important information for you. And you must take very specific steps in order to thrive in this situation. If you know the exact steps to take, how to thrive in this situation, that's what will help you. Okay? So how do you manage your business in this COVID era? Okay? How do you actually manage? How do you thrive in this situation? And what are the changes that you must do right now to be successful? Okay? That's what I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes. So I'm going to be sharing some tips with you as to how you thrive right now in these challenging times. Okay? So let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Amit Ambegaonkar, and this is a book that I wrote in 2016. It's called Your Profound Success: 7 Powerful Ways to Skyrocket Your Business Using the Internet. And actually, this book is doing way more sales than what it has ever before, because it's way more relevant, because everybody's shifting online. And that's what this book is about. I've written one more book alongside with my wife, Swapna, and with this amazing giant author, Mr. Ryan Tracy. Okay. I'm also writing a book right now with Robert Allen, who's known around the world as the real estate guru. Okay, he was the one that came up with the book Nothing Down. Okay. And I've also done lots of TV shows. I've been on podcasts, on radio shows, and also I've been very fortunate to be associated with some of the most powerful people on this planet, like Mr. Jack Canfield, Marcy Shimoff, Dr. John Gray, Bob Proctor, Dr. Ivan Meisner, again, Robert Allen. And this is truly that has helped me in thriving the challenges that I have faced in my life. So today what I want to do is I want to share 5 ways that you can thrive through these challenging times. Okay. So what are the ways that you can thrive? Before that, I want to show you that majority of the entrepreneurs are failing because of 4 reasons. There are 4 reasons why entrepreneurs are failing. Okay. The number 1 reason is because they don't take immediate action. They don't take immediate action. That's what holds them back from getting that success that they want to achieve. The second thing is they don't learn the data that is required. Okay, they don't gain the knowledge that is really required for them to be successful. The third is they have an internal mental block. Okay, there is something that's blocking them, which is hampering their growth and their development. And the fourth thing is they feel that they have no control over things. Okay, of course, if you think that you have no control over things, then you're not going to do the things that are required to be successful, right? So these are the 4 things that actually stop entrepreneurs from gaining the success and cause their failure. Okay, so how do you actually succeed in these challenging times? What are the ways that you can thrive through these challenging times? Okay, so let's look at the first one. The first one I want to share with you is actually help. The way that you can thrive through these challenging times is actually by helping. And it's crazy because your viewpoint, or when you look at this thing, you think, oh my God, this is such a terrible situation and I need help. I need all the help that I can get. However, the way that I would suggest you look at it is look at it from the other person's viewpoint. Look at how you can actually offer that help. How can you help others in order to grow? So whom do you help? You help anyone that you really care about. Okay, you help your family, you help your friends, you help your clients, you help other businesses to grow. And that's how you will grow. Because if you help more people, if you help enough people, then you will be helped automatically. That's the magic of helping, right? Now, also you can look at help from another viewpoint, that if you don't help people, what will happen if you don't help right now? Because there is so much help required that if you don't help right now, you will actually perish. Your business will not sustain itself. That's how important helping is. Right? So if you don't sell right now, you'll actually not exist. You will not exist. That's how powerful helping is. And I want you to understand the concept of helping, and that selling is actually helping. Selling is actually helping. So if you offer something for sale, the intention is to make money, but the real intention is to help your client with your product or your service. And if you don't come with that mindset, believe me, you will actually not sell, because you are coming with a viewpoint of making money or making some bucks from here and there, and it does not work. If you start with an intention that I want to help this person, I have something that this person will benefit from. If you start from that viewpoint, you will see that sales become easier and easier and easier for you, because you're coming from the viewpoint of helping other people. Okay? So it's a really different viewpoint on sales, really different viewpoint on helping. And this has given me amazing results. This has given some really good results to the clients that I work with. Okay. The second thing I want you to start looking at is monitoring your numbers. You have to monitor your numbers, especially in this era right now. You have to look at, if you don't monitor your income and your expenses very closely and do something about it, then you are in danger. Now, danger seems to be a very strong word, but I'm not mistaken by using this word. This is a word that is appropriate in this particular context, because If you're not paying attention to your income, how much is coming in and how much is going out, you're actually in danger, and the situation will just keep getting worse if you continue to not pay attention to this. Okay? Now decide how much money you want to make. This is something that you need to decide. You have to make that decision going forward, right? So do you have a goal right now for your income for this month? For it, do you have that number that you've put down that, okay, this month, this is December 2020, this is the income I want to make? Okay, have you put down a number for next year, for 2021? This is what I mean by monitoring your numbers. So you're looking at the present situation, but you're also looking at what numbers you're trying to create. And given your situation, maybe you are in this tough situation right now, so you're not looking at that exorbitant number, but there should be some number that you're looking at, because that's what's going to give you that power. That's what's going to give you the motivation to actually go and do things that will help you. The next thing I want to talk about is if your business is, you need to adapt to the changing environment. Right now, you'll see every day things are changing. You open up a news channel and you see news. Open up the world news and there is some news that is changing. So you really have to cater to your clients' needs, which are changing dramatically. So if you're offering them something, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 1 year ago, then definitely that's not something that probably they're looking for right now. Okay. Now, what is the number one challenge that you need to make? What is the number one change, that you need to make? The number one change that you need to do is increase your income. You need to increase your income. Now, this is a fascinating part I want to share with you. Where does income come from? Where do you think income comes from? And if you're listening to me live right now, put in the comments. I want to really know, where does your income come from? What are your thoughts on income? Okay? Because what generates income is a fascinating thing. And if you understand this concept, it will help you a lot in your life and in your business. Okay? So I want you to understand that income, the fascinating part is income actually comes from control. Control. The more you can control, the more you have control over what you can do with your business, the more clients that you can sign up, the more control you will have, the more income you will have. And where does control come from? It's another fascinating aspect. Control comes from knowledge. Control comes from knowledge. So if you're thinking of making more income, you actually need to think about getting more control. And the control, if you're wanting to get more control, you get to have the knowledge in order to get that control. So don't think about income as the first thing. Think about this scale that I'm giving you, because that's the real scale that will help you. Okay. So why should you know this? Because if you want to be cause, if you really want to be doing something on your own and not be an effect, then that's what will give you the control. If you are the cause, that will give you control. And if you're an effect, you're actually giving up control. Okay. That's why control is equal to income. So the more control you will have, the more income you are going to generate. Okay. Now, control over what? Okay. The control that you want to gain over is actually over your future. Okay. Who would like control over their future? Right? Everybody. Right? You want control over their future, and I'm sharing with you how you can gain it today. Get more knowledge. That's number 3. Get more knowledge. Now, the more you understand what's going on, the more successful you're going to be. The more knowledge you gain, all right, this is how it works. If you know something about the car and if you know everything how it works in the car, you will be a master at dealing with cars, right? If you know everything about money, how it works, how credit works, definitely you will be amazing in managing your money. So knowledge is the basis of control, and that's what will produce the income for you. Okay? So the more you're aware of how you prosper, the more income you're going to make. Okay. Now, the fourth thing I want to emphasize is getting rid of your mental blocks. There are certain mental blocks that people have that stop you from growing. So it's not just the hard work, because you may have seen that you work really, really hard. You put in so many hours, you put in so much hard work into your business, into a relationship, but it doesn't go anywhere. And the reason for that is actually you may have some mental blocks. Okay. Now, do you know that you have these blocks? That's the first awareness I want you to start creating. Secondly, unfortunately, you have to get rid of them before you can prosper. Okay, so that's why some people you will see around are working really hard, but you don't see their progress. And the reason why you see them not progressing as fast as they would like is because they have these mental blocks. Okay? Now, these mental blocks stop your growth, and they are hidden. The fascinating part about this mental blocks is they hide from you. So it's not something that you can identify, hey, that's what's stopping me, let me get rid of this, and boom, you move forward. It does not happen that way. Okay? So they actually stop you from prospering. So to get rid of the mental blocks should be the focus. Okay? So how can you tell that you have mental block? You will have results that are not equal to your potential. Your results will not be equal to your potential. You have amazing potential, but you don't have the results to show for it. And the reason why is because you have these mental blocks. Okay? You have way more potential than your results. That's a clear indicator that you have a mental block. Okay? And number 5 is the most important one, is taking action. Taking action, taking massive action in the direction that you want to prosper is the key to growth. So nothing happens in life unless you take action. There is definitely this component where you need to take action. Now, it's not the thinking. This is really important for you to understand that it's not just the thinking, it's not just the learning, but it's actually the action that will produce the results. So you gain the knowledge, you take that whole understanding, and then you spring into action, because that's what will create the result that you want. Okay. So right now there is an urge everywhere for you to actually slow down. Everything, every organization, every government, every rules, regulations, they are being put up on you to actually slow down. There is this whole push of no communication. There's only certain amount of pieces that you can put in. There is so much going on right now about no communication and no action. Oh, you cannot meet certain people. You can only, even in your own house, you're limited as to how many people can you gather, how many people can you meet. Okay. Now, the right thing right now to do is actually to take massive action. Okay, so I'm not promoting to go against the law, of course, right? So if that's the law, you need to follow the law. I'm following the law. Everyone that is genuine is following the law. But how can you get more creative in these times so that you still follow the law and accomplish the action that you want? You want to accomplish the action so that you still get the same result, staying within the restrictions that are going on right now. That's the real key. And this requires some amount of creative thinking on your part for you to get to that next level. Okay? So people who act now are the people who are going to win. Those are the people that are actually going to win. Okay. So what will stop the uncertainty is your actions. So anything that you think in your life, your relationship, your business, your partnerships, anything that is uncertain right now is stopped because of actions. You need to start taking action. You need to start moving in the right direction. Okay? And what will be the result is actually prosperity. You will have prosperity if you start taking action. Okay? Now, if you would like to prosper, here's something that I would like to give you. Now, is that okay if I give you something? Is that okay for you? That involves something like this, has a dollar amount. I want to give you something of tremendous value. And what if that's something that I want to give you that has tremendous value, and at the same time, it is free for you? Would you like that? Of course you would like that, right? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So what I'm offering you right now is I'm going to actually do a special webinar for you where I'm going to show you how to prosper during this crisis. It's a very, very special webinar that I'm presenting, and you can register for that right now on this website, yourprofoundsolutions.com/prosperity. Okay, you can go to this site and register for free right now. And it's a 90-minute special training that I'm doing on December 16th, 2020. So this Wednesday on December 16th, I will be presenting this training to you so that you can prosper during this crisis. Okay. And in the special webinar, what you will learn is how to really gain control and have income. Okay. How do you identify these hidden mental blocks that are holding you back? And how do you handle the uncertainty that's coming up? And it is coming. Believe me, it is coming. You need to know the tools, how to handle this uncertainty, and have a clear understanding of how to prosper. Okay? And much, much, much more. There is so much more that you're going to get in this free training It will help you a lot in your life and your business. Now, if you register right now, actually, this is something that I just added because I want to give so much value. I want to help you succeed, that if you register for this free webinar, I'm actually going to also give you a free ebook. So if you head on to this website right now, yourprofoundsolutions.com/prosperity, and register for this for 16th of December at 7 p.m., you will first of all get a replay. If you're not able to attend live, that's okay. Just register so that you will get a replay of this special webinar, but you will also get my free ebook. This ebook is the 5 worst mistakes that business owners make. 5 worst mistakes that business owners make. And if you look at these mistakes, and they will, if it relates to you, you will be at a different level of awareness and you can avoid those mistakes. Okay, so it's a really powerful ebook, and I want to give that to you for free if you register for this upcoming training, the upcoming webinar, which is how to prosper during this crisis. So thank you so much. Go ahead and register right now. Then thank you, RJ. Thank you, Curtis. I'm just loving this symposium, Better Life Symposium. First of all, I love the name. And thank you so much for allowing me to sponsor this event, and the value that you are bringing by yourself, actually, first of all, by being leaders in putting this together and bringing together these powerful people and presenting them to others so that they can take advantage. It's just a perfect combination. So very, very, very well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. Curtis, do you have anything else to say to Amit first, but before I get to a couple things for him?
Sure. Check out the webinar. It is awesome. He's very good. It's very interactive and it's very informational. And he has a great price on his the buy on the end. It's a very good price. Okay, go ahead, RJ.
Thank you so much, Amit. Again, you're my coach. You're my mentor, and that relationship is something we built over time. And because I've soaked up everything I can from you, I've been able to get to this place today. I've been able to create this, and don't get me wrong, it's me and Curtis and everybody else who helped create this by working together.
Mm-hmm.
But it was that creative thought and that creative process that really, and much of what you've taught me that brought me here today. So I can't thank you enough. Of course, you were chosen to be a sponsor right off the bat. That was almost a given. So I thank you for taking up that honor and helping to bring this event to people.
Thank you, RJ. And I really appreciate you specifically because you are some of the few entrepreneurs who actually go ahead and apply this information. You're not just hearing what the coaches and mentors are telling you. You actually went ahead and applied whatever we discussed. And that's why you're seeing the result that you're seeing in your life. So congratulations and well done. I'm really proud of you.
Mm-hmm. And okay, I'm going to say, they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And now our tagline here is called Build a Life You Love to Live.
Yes.
And you've created a podcast called Create the Life You Love. I'll take a little bit of compliment there because I think there's a little bit of symmetry going on. But I watched it the other day, or there was a post you did the other day, and you were talking about 2 things that we must have in order for us. Like, if you don't have these, you will fail, guaranteed. And those 2 things, one, you mentioned them today, was control.
Mm-hmm.
The other was responsibility.
Yes.
And those 2 things have led me to where I am today. By taking control, taking the initiative, I put this into effect, but also being responsible for everything that has happened. We've gotten to today. It started 3 months ago, but we've gotten here to today, right? So
yes. Awesome. Yes, my podcast definitely Create a Great Life. And that is coming up so well. I mean, I started that podcast 2-3 months ago, but the amount of listeners I'm getting, I'm really fortunate to have so many people giving me a great feedback about it. So thank you, RJ. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to mention briefly, I know you told me not to deal with this, but I've gotten your 2020 business.
Oh, wow.
Business
Look
letter.
at you.
Absolutely. Yes. And I'm already I've gotten another sheet where I'm going to take notes on goals for LLL for 2021, because I know with the help of this planner, my business is going to take off the next year.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Thank you. I will get control of my numbers. And we're going to, work on a plan for how we're going to take this business moving forward. It all started with today. We had to get this done. This is our first step in creative thought. And now Live and Love Life Empowerment is here to stay, and we're going to help feature people like yourself who can, because again, I'm not the right coach for everybody. Curtis may not be the right coach, but there are so many out there who want to help you build a better life. And that's the whole point of today.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it. Keep it up, Curtis and RJ. You guys are doing amazing. Please keep it up.
Absolutely. And thank you for all your support. Thank you for all your help, because you helped get us here.
Anytime. Anytime.
Thank you. So that has been the morning edition here in Better Life Symposium. We've had a pretty good show, and I think we brought some good advice, some good help, some good inspiration for moving forward and for living a better life. Curtis, have we done a good job today, do you think?
I think it was an awesome job today. Well, a couple of hiccups, but we dealt with it and we're able to carry on. Right. That's all that matters.
And you know what? When we started this, I mean, we picked a date. I mean, I contacted you in September, said, listen, let's pick a date, let's make it happen, and let's start working towards this. And I'm glad you picked today. Again, we saw the ominous factor, or the, you know what I mean, the spiritual guidance that we're getting by putting this event on today. So again, it's been amazing, and I'm glad you chose today.
Excellent. It's a very powerful day.
Yeah, and now moving forward, again, we have had, I mean, Curtis has brought his book to life, the ABCs to Living a Positive Life. We've had Annie Koshi, who talked to us about branding. Now, she's a business branding master, but you saw how she talked about bringing it to you in a personal, setting up your life to become the person that you want to be, showing up as that person. I wasn't the person you see here today, even a year ago, right? I wasn't this confident. I wasn't this capable. Even yourself, you weren't that capable, you know, many moons ago, right? So it's all a growth process, and it has to start somewhere. So Annie's, Annie's giving us some good advice there. I threw in Sadhna Sabharwal. She's the single mom millionaire. Really, it is about living a better life, and she is into personal development and growth. That's how I met her, through many of those seminars. As she says, the personal development was just a bonus. For me, that's what began my journey. Everybody has their own different path. And I think by jumping in wherever you are on that path, by making the decision that you want to live a better life, you can now start moving steps forward, right?
Yeah, for sure. 10 steps in your book, right?
Yep, 10 steps. And my 10 steps will surely help you. You know what? I'm not going to talk about that right now, because we've had so much going on today.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, I will throw out Martin Luther King's quote, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just the first step.
That's right.
Take that first step, whatever it may be for you.
For sure.
Then I want you to reach out to Anthony if you're struggling. And how many of us said it? You know what? We have mental blocks. We have blockages for whatever reason. We say, why isn't this happening? I want this. What's going on? There's something blocking you. We're all struggling in some way. And Anthony is going to give you some ease for your mind. He's here to help make sure that people have affordable health care. And you know what? You can't afford that $150 to $300 that it can cost for a psychotherapist. Reach out to him, and he'll make it affordable for you. And then we talked about mental healing. We also talked about spiritual healing. I hope we did honor with Wilma David, who is an angelic healer. She really is in touch with those, with the spirits and the angels, and she can look at your timeline and figure out those blockages that you're experiencing and keep you from moving forward. I mean, she's removed many blockages in my life up until now. So again, there's another person responsible for helping me get here.
Perfect.
After that, we heard from Matthew Gardner. He shared some tragedy with us, right? He shared some of the life he's gone through, and nobody should have to go through that. but unfortunately, we all have to pick up our feet in something like that. We have to move on. And that's why he created Phoenix Rising, because he was able to rise out of the ashes. He was able to rise out of that tragedy and build his persona and become a different person.
Absolutely.
And we're thankful for that. And we're thankful that he was able to share that with us today.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his breathing exercise as well. It was awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I felt the energy releasing from me as we did it. You know what I
sure.
mean? I followed along, and you know what? It was very inspirational.
For sure.
And then finally, we had Amit. Again, I can't say
Excellent.
enough about this man. He is responsible for everything I know as regarding to business. I feel confident. I don't have all my numbers straight. I think we need to work on that moving forward,
Yes,
Curtis. But
absolutely.
once we get some income, we'll figure out the expenses and we'll get the spreadsheet figured out.
Sure.
But I think he's right. We need to have certain amount of control and understanding over what we're doing in order to proceed in the right direction, right?
Yes, for sure.
That's been our morning lineup. It's been pretty packed.
Very awesome. I like the morning lineup. Yeah, it was good. Good timing and everything. People moved on quite nicely. A few minutes behind, but that's okay.
You know, those things happen. We had our glitch to start the moment. I thank everybody for being patient and helping us get that figured out, because again, we're back online. We've had some pretty good attendance. We've had some pretty good interaction.
Yep, for sure.
Overall, I'm pleased. How about you?
It's awesome. I love it. It's my first one and it's doing so well. It's very happy.
I'm not going to talk about our lineup this afternoon. We've got 6 more powerful speakers to come this afternoon. Please join us again. We'll be here from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We'll actually start the broadcast probably about 15 minutes early, just so that we can get everybody on and you know, get coordinated and have a good time doing so. So please come back for us in the afternoon. We'll be back.
Which link are they using, RJ, for the presenters? Are these in the afternoon link?
Yeah, we're still with the normal link because that one exists. We didn't crash that one, right?
All right, perfect.
So if everybody, we'll get in touch with our speakers, make sure they're on for the afternoon link. Everybody, please come back on whatever channel you're on, whether it be YouTube, Facebook for Live and Love Life, or if you're here for the Positive Life Mastery. One way or another, you've connected with us, and we want you to come back in and connect with the rest of our speakers this afternoon.
Yeah,
all right, folks.
Be here for the afternoon. We'll see you then.
Thanks for joining us. Go take a break, get yourself some lunch, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you for
everything. Thanks, guys. Have a good one
so far today.
Perfect.